How's it going, everybody? I am Kyle from Fantasy Ford Studios, and we are here with both of our players for Adventures in Middle-earth Eriador Adventures, which is our Middle-earth campaign that's taking place on the west side of the Misty Mountains in the land of Eriador. We do have two campaigns going for this right now, and they're taking place at concurrent times. And so every other week we alternate between Eriador Adventures, and hopefully we'll be a little bit more consistent on that. We'll alternate between Eriador Adventures, which is with Kyrian, Valineth, and Calavir, and then a Wilderland adventure, which is with Jess, Theodric, and Feanor. And so
I should make a command about that, shouldn't I?
that would be nice. But
Just Eriador, Wilderland.
yeah, I mean,
It's easy.
honestly, it's nice to see that everything's kind of in one place, especially because they do take. I mean, I guess you can find out information about each character individually if you want to. But with that being the case, let's go ahead and dive right into it. First and foremost, with player introductions, we can start with, I guess it's kind of weird introducing Calafir, introducing the DMPC of this campaign, but Calafir, he's a cool bean. His official title is Calafir, son of Findulin, captain of the Silver Swan Court of Dol Amroth. It's a mouthful, but that's exactly what he is. He is a man of Dol Amroth that comes from the southern regions of Gondor. And he, as we've learned a couple of sessions ago, which at this point was months ago, is a captain that went and chased after the black ships, specifically a ship called the Cathufazgan. Giant black ship that is known by the Corsairs of Umbar, but specifically in legend by the Black Numenorians. And so him and his crew took to the seas to chase after the ship, and he was waylaid by a storm and sprawled out in the wild regions of Wilderland, to which him and the survivors made their way all the way up to Tharbad, to which they were preyed upon by bandits and pretty much had taken everything from him. And in pursuit of the bandits, found their way up to kind of the Trollshaw's area, which is where the party is right now, close to Rivendell. To where this adventure starts, where many of his remaining crew were either killed or kidnapped, and he was pretty much left to fend for himself. He eventually did meet the company, and this is where we're at. Yes, he's a captain of Gondor, and he's a brick house. Let's just say that he's very much a tank role in the party composition, and yeah, he's quite charismatic as well. So we'll see how that goes. But our next player is going to be Valineth.
Hello, everyone. I want to make a quick comment before we move on to Valineth. I didn't realize how big Eriador was now that I'm looking at this map.
Oh, it's
And I also
gigantic.
didn't realize what a massive forehead Eriador has. Just a lot of nothing up up top. It's just all forehead.
Just call it Peyton Manning.
Exactly. But I'm Forged, ordained here at Fantasy Forge Studios. I play the character Valineth, son of Morbeth. He is a elf of Rivendell. He is 778 years at this point. 78 years at this point. Coming up on 79. And he's a healer, so his mother is one of the main healers on the court of Elrond, and so he took up that mantle to continue to study that. But he's also a scholar, so his class is kind of the Healy class in Adventures in Middle Earth, which is cool. He uses a bow. He uses a bow of the Last Alliance, which he got when he hit level 4, which is really cool. And yeah, he shoots bows and he takes notes. He's really smart and got a lot of wisdom, but maybe not so much street smarts. So hopefully he learns a little bit more street smarts from both Calafir and Kyrian. So it'll be a good time. That's Valineth.
And our final player is Kyrian. You want to go ahead and introduce?
Hello. Yeah. So I play Kyrian, son of Durafin. He is a Dunedain of the north. And he is from Eriador. So they roam the area here and protect it pretty much from the enemy, orcs and trolls and the like. And yeah, they basically help those kind of have safe passage through the area, and like the people of Bree, and the other free folk of the area, they help protect and keep safe, much to some they might know, but often it's kind of a thankless or unknown post for them. um yeah, and he is, I guess, one of the more senior of the Dunedain at this point, and has had a little bit of a past with the elves. Was engaged to be married to one, as we learned. I think last session, was that last session? Two
Two
sessions
I think
sessions
ago.
ago, I
so.
think maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I don't
It was
remember.
2 months ago or more.
It was a long time. Yeah, and he visited her grave and all that. That's pretty much all you know, is that he was engaged to an elf, which is pretty unheard of. For those of you who know Lord of the Rings, there are 2 marriages between man and elves, and
One
Aragorn
has come
is
to
one of
pass
them.
and one has not.
Yes. So, um, yeah. So
Is
that
that
is
why she died,
you're-
Cole? Is you're trying to keep it lore-wise?
yeah. Well, and at first I was gonna have them married, like, already, and then but then I changed it to they had yet to actually tie the knot, to keep it consistent with the lore and the world of Lord of the Rings. So
Yes. So for
Yeah.
those who don't know, Beren and Luthien, it's basically the story that was the origin point of all of Middle Earth. It was the very first one that Tolkien really came into imagination and vision with, and it was his kind of a romance between him and his wife. And so you didn't know this, but the Lord of the Rings and everything, this whole world of Middle Earth was a romance to his wife. So that's cool. That's neat. But yes, Kyrian is a Dunedain, and we've already seen a fair amount of his skill thus far. We've seen what Valinith can do over the Wilderland adventures now that he's part of this Eriador, but we've seen how valuable Kyrian can be when it comes to tracking through known lands that he has and being on the road. It's already proved quite useful up until this point, and it's something that I'm sure the other campaign kind of wishes that they had, was a ranger to be able to guide them.
And I killed a troll
That's true.
with
Yeah.
the help of Halberad, but
Yeah,
Well,
Kyrian and Halbrand.
That's better than we can all say. I mean, honestly, in Wilderland Adventures, what do we? I don't even know. Do we kill the Shade? I don't even know if we killed the Shade. That's not even as scary as a troll.
I don't know. It depends.
I don't remember.
You were fighting it in the water, in the dark, in the fog.
Valinith could see it.
Yeah.
Valinith could
Perfectly
see it.
fine.
Everybody was
But
struggling.
yeah. Also, like, my role in the party is definitely to, like, guide the party through the area and, like, help track people and like very much like you would think of as your normal ranger type character. But I also excel at dual wielding, although so kind of DPS as well.
Kind of really good DPS.
Yeah, just sometimes though I have to kite things and I have to use my bow. I feel like I haven't really been able to dual wield a ton yet,
Hey,
because I feel like I'm gonna die every time I get in close.
That's why you
We've
have
got
That's why you have
Calefear.
Calefear now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry
So-
as much about your weaker armor or your hit
Yeah.
points. Calefear will just be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
keep eyes on me," and then you can flank and just be like,
Yeah.
Or
It's just
or
the only time we
Calefear.
fought together, he was healing frickin' baby Aragorn the whole time. So
It's true. I will say, if Calefear gets in it, there's lots of options. Valinith, as far as melee goes, not a whole lot there, but both Kyrian and Valinith can use a bow, so we could all both just sit back and pick them off. But why would we do that when you can dual wield?
That's true. And right now at level 4, for the breakdown of how the classes work in this game, is there isn't any classes that have more than one attack right now, and so dual wielding allows for a second attack, which is really, really freaking nice. even if it is just a dagger wound, but it is really, really friggin' nice. And so, with that being the case,
Does that happen at 5th level, like
fifth
normal
level,
D&D?
for certain classes. So I think the
Okay.
Wanderer, which is like the ranger class, gets an attack at 5th level. The Slayer, which is the barbarian, gets another attack at 5th level. And then I don't know if the captain does, which is what Caliphyr is. I'll have to look into that more. But the weapon master,
Warden?
which is the what's it called? The like fighter
The warrior.
of like this campaign. So like they're like a warrior, yeah. They get it. So like those 3 for sure I know.
Okay.
The captain is a new one. The captain is a one ring class, which is the newer version of like what AME is. So anyways, long story short, that's our a group of adventures. It's good to have a little bit more of an in-depth recap since it's been quite a while since we have played this campaign. But I am Kyle. I am playing both Caliphyr, but also I am the lore master of this world, but playing both with and against these players as they adventure through Middle-earth and helping to narrate and create the story that they are creating as they fight off the evil forces of Eriador during I guess this campaign takes place. That's probably a good place to mention. This campaign takes place in the years between The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I think at this point, it's already 6, coming up on 7 years past the fall of Smaug. And so it's pretty recent after the events of The Hobbit. But there's definitely shadows that are on the rise. Once the dragon has died, a lot of dark, nefarious creatures have started to kind of fill that power vacuum in the darker places of the world to try to assert dominance for the Dark Lord's power. Sauron has not been revealed yet in Mordor yet, and so the last memories of Sauron and all that was the Last Alliance and his destruction with the fall of basically Numenor and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, so there's definitely some dark powers at work that are going as far as that's trying to lay the pavement, lay the groundwork for the rise of Sauron again. So, which, as we know in Lord of the Rings, is inevitable. But let's see what these adventurers can do to help keep back the shadow, at least in the regions that they live. Anyways, a little bit of recap about what this adventure is so far. So as I mentioned, this is a separate adventure, everything that's taken place west of the Misty Mountains. In Eriador, these group of adventurers, they happened to meet while Caliphyr was being assaulted, as had mentioned previously in his character bio, by a group of orcs and a troll. And so Valinith, with the help of Estel, young Aragorn, for those who don't know. He doesn't know he's Aragorn yet, but Estel and Glorfindel, they came basically from Rivendell, tracking these specific orcs and hunting them down, while Cirion, with news after he had encountered some trolls and some nefarious stuff that's happening, that he found a sheet that said basically like the plans for the Hidden Valley, plans for the Salt on the ranch dressing. He went to go take this news to Elrond, and they all kind of met and clashed at Califyr's last stand. And once their foes were routed, they made their way back to Rivendell to let Lord Elrond know of this news, and particularly what the plight that Caliphyr was in. And with that, Lord Elrond, he recruited the help of Valinith, Cirion, and Caliphyr to go track down this captain, which was later revealed by the name of Mormog. Who he was, they're unsure, but all that they know is he knows how to use the Mordor Black Speech, which is obviously a very, very bad tongue. If you know in the Lord of the Rings books, the mouth of Sauron uses the Black Speech, and his lips basically wither away because it's so wicked and so evil. But this Black Speech hasn't been used for years and years and years, specifically in the realms of Eriador. And so Elrond charged them with the task of going to hunt down this Captain Mormog and if not rout him, discover what nefarious plans he has for him and his cohort in Eriador. But there's also a second-fold purpose to what this task brings. During Caliphere's initial assault on Captain Mormog's camp, many of his allies died, but 2 of his allies in particular were taken captive. One, which is an emissary from Dol Amroth, one of the surviving members of his ship crash, by the name of Arthanath, and his armor bearer, a young boy who basically is charged by the captain, Captain Caliphere, to become a warrior in his stead, but in the meantime help him with his heavy plate armor and everything that he has. And this is a young boy by the name of Frothian. And so they have been kidnapped by Mormog and his group, and they are also in search for these individuals as well. And that brings us to our game. Let me go ahead and get some nature going, and
Ooh, I like that.
I will.
The best part about listening back to the recordings
is the nature.
is the nature.
Let's go
Oh,
ahead.
I should play something so I can hear something too.
You should. I need to figure out what's good nature. I have like a lot of river nature because of the Anduin, but you guys technically aren't close to that right
Nice.
now.
I bet Spotify has some nature things.
Yeah, I'm so glad you can listen
It's
to that.
snowy, right?
It is kind of snowy. At this point, it is a little bit into kind of like early mid-spring at this moment, so that's good scene setting. The Trollshaws specifically are very rainy and dreary and drizzly. However, as you make your way north into the Coldfells, it does start to become snowier. It's a barren wasteland essentially of basically like rocky outcroppings and very few trees, and the cold winds sweep down from the Misty Mountains and basically blanket everything, and almost kind of like this like permafrost that goes well into the summer months. Let's do this one.
Maybe that's why Caliphere wants to get his armor bearer back, because he can't bear to hold his armor. For a
Well,
long-
that's something that's a little rough too. So because his armor is so large, it's not like he can just pack it away. He either has to wear it or leave it somewhere, which it does not help him when it comes to his stealthiness. That's for sure. But anyways, with that being said, the last place that this the adventure had brought these characters was first there's a couple of points that they want to investigate. One particular, which they have just happened upon, is a old fortification that belonged to the men of Arnor, the Numenorians, way back in the Second Age. A place that has long gone to ruin by the name of Castle Hill. And Kyrian and Valinith and Caliphere have tracked a set of footprints, looks like troll-sized footprints, into this specific area. And so as they approach Castle Hill, it is a little past midday, about 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And with it being spring, the sun probably lasts till about 8 or 9. Being just with the sun setting in the west, being on the west side of the mountains, you get about an hour more of sunlight than everybody in Wilderland gets. And so with that being the case, daylight is still quite abundant in this area, and you come upon this giant fortress. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like a gigantic castle, but it's a giant fortification with this giant ring wall that goes around the side and a large walkway, basically causeway, that goes all the way up to a main gate, which the main gate is on the north side of this. You approach it from the southern side, but you can see that similar to Weathertop, it has kind of a gradual rise, and it's very much built to be a fortification and outpost. I'm going to have Kyrian for me. I'm going to have you make a... let's have you make a history check for me.
I have a quick question, because Valinith would know this. So I know in like the Lord of the Rings, Mordor orcs and Mordor trolls are like totally chilling in the daylight. They're totally fine.
Yeah, so
Are
like that
these
really
guys the case?
so that hasn't really, again, more Sauron hasn't put himself uh has announced himself as Lord of Mordor at this point. Back in the past, he basically just used like orcs and whatnot to his degree. However, you have no idea yet about trolls or orcs or anything that don't have an aversion to daylight. That's not a normal thing. At least that's
Okay,
not
so they
common
do.
knowledge.
Okay.
However, you do know, as far as trollkin go, the only ones that absolutely cannot be in the sunlight are stone trolls. Stone trolls will turn to stone if they are in the sunlight. However, there are a number of varieties, which I'm actually going to have you make a shadow lore check for me, Valineth. But Kyrian, first and foremost, your history check.
12.
12. So you know Castle Hill, but this is a castle that has been avoided widely by the Dunedain. Not particularly because it's not advantageous. If anything, it provides a decent, actually, view around. But recent legend says that there is something wicked that has dwelled within there, and that come sundown, you can basically hear wailing coming from within the confines of the castle. Many of your kin, many of your folk believe that these are the spirits of the dead Arnorians, the Numenorians that had fallen protecting Castle Hill back when during the wars of the Witch King of Angmar. However, others say that it's too well fortified during the day to be able to lay any kind of siege upon, and nothing has come down out of this keep for quite some time, meaning whatever is living here has either been self-sufficient in its own doings, or it's stealthy enough to be able to go out and do hunting of its own kind. But eyes have been kept on Castle Hill, and nothing has been seen coming in or out of it for quite some time.
Okay.
Shadow Low.
I relay that information.
Perfect.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So you know generally the characteristics about trolls. So again, stone trolls, they turn to stone in the sunlight. However, hill trolls and mountain trolls, these are a larger variety. Specifically, mountain trolls are almost twice the size of stone trolls, as it were. They have aversion to sunlight, but they can move and they can fight in the sunlight. They're just slowed down, kind of typical to how orcs are. However, there are also cave trolls as well, cave trolls are pretty much blind. Just as it were, cave trolls, like they have an insane sense of smell. But daylight they do not like. They also will not turn to stone in the sunlight, but they prefer to live in dark, dank places under the earth. So chances of encountering a cave troll outside of underground mountains or caverns is very unlikely, and snow trolls are the last of the troll variety, and they're found usually in the northern reaches of the world, and they are vicious. Think of like the legends in like our own world of like yetis and that kind of stuff. Is that they're considered to be quite ferocious and very, very territorial. There are very few evil creatures of this world that can sway something such as a snow troll under there. They're the wildest of all the trolls, essentially. So that's something that you would know.
Good to know. After Kyrian relays the information, Valineth turns to the party and in hushed tones says, "Well, even though it's under surveillance, we should still be diligent. I worry with these tracks coming to and from what may still lie inside."
Caliph he mentions, he looks to Kyrian, and he says, "Kyrian, you said you and your people have kept eyes on this castle, as it were. It's quite impressive in construct, but why exactly is it that you haven't assaulted it with your own people?" And to this, Kyrian, you can create whatever response you want for that. I left it ambiguous enough to be able to do that.
Okay. Well, it was never a particularly strategic location that we needed to potentially have to fight to regain and lose lives. It was never valuable enough to us to form a group to retake it, I suppose.
Clearly,
I
the
thought
men
it
of
would
the
have been the
north are
ghosts.
Clearly, the men of the north are quite strong. But as I can see, and he looks you up and down. I'm gonna have you, Kyrian, make an insight check for me. He looks you up and down, and he says, clearly you're a strong and sturdy folk. And with that 19, Kyrian, you see you look at him and you can see that there's a little bit of doubt and confusion in his eyes. He says, the men of Gondor, we are not so used to, well, let's just say we're used to assault, basically siege warfare to a degree. If there is anything, we have discovered anything in regards to creatures that have taken up residence in old fortifications or even caves, it is up to me as captain to be able to gather the troops that we need to be able to lay assault on them. If not anything, just to starve them out or whatnot. I'm curious on the validity of the tactics of your people, the Dunedain. Clearly, if there's a ghost, wicked creatures in here, you've just let them be. Is it okay to leave a place of such darkness in the wilderness?
I mean, we keep an eye on it. We just hasn't been too much of an issue thus far. So, and as you can tell, the common wanderer does not find their way out this far often. So, and if we are guiding them, we make sure we typically don't lead those unequipped to handle such things.
Indeed.
Plus, they're rumors, so we haven't
Question.
deemed it worthy enough or a threat enough to be besieged, I suppose.
As this is happening, can Valinith sense any like evil? Because he can sense like wraiths and things like that within a certain distance. Hold on, I'm trying to remember how far that is.
When
Or
you
am I
fi-
crazy? Can I not do that?
I don't know if he necessarily has the ability to do so. If you see something, though, you have the ability
Yeah.
to determine whether it is of good or evil. It's not like I think we talked about this last time. It's not like Zill's ability to like sense evil within a mile. I don't think.
Oh, that's
Valinith
probably what
has
I'm getting
anything like
confused
that.
with. That's probably what I'm getting confused with. Sorry, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can tell whether or not it's a creature or
Yeah,
shadow
like
if I
for
do see
example,
it.
let's just say
Okay.
you came across like a wanderer in the woods. You would have a decent insight on knowing whether or not it is something that is like in disguise, that is like evil or not. It would be able to tell right away what you are as a high elf, but
Yeah.
you have a more of
Blinded
kind of a heightened.
science.
Yeah, you would have more of like a heightened sense of something of the kind. However, you wouldn't know until you've actually laid eyes upon it.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was just confused with that. Anyways, continue.
Yes. Caliphyr, he continues with Kyrian. Well, what say you in this situation? Clearly tracks lead up the hill to this location. Should we leave it be, as your people have done for quite some time? Or do we make our way north?
Well, we are looking for your armor bearer who potentially came through there, correct?
Indeed. But you said that you said yourself that your people haven't seen much come in or out of there. I mean, clearly you haven't been able to have any discussions here of late with your cohorts, those who have been watching Castle Hill, about anybody who's come in and out. But from the tracks of what we can see, something has gone in there. But I only see large tracks. I don't see any of the... Perhaps I don't know. I guess I leave it to your own judgment. You know these creatures, these foul creatures of this unknown wild land. What would you say?
Well, I have not conferred with my people since we started this quest, so it is very possible that those who have taken your armor bearer have used it as an outpost on the way. I'm sure they travel in large enough numbers that they might have sieged it, or it was empty to begin with. So it's very possible they're in there, and I think if we are stealthy and good about it, we can avoid a row if, in fact, it is merely bandits or other such people unrelated to the quest at hand.
Make a persuasion or survival check for me.
Can Valnith double check as this is going on and checking? He's going to be looking to see if there was a row of sorts between Dunedain, if it has the fort has been watched, but there's big tracks going through it. See if there has been conflict at any point outside of this fort.
I'm going to have you make an investigation check for me, Valnith. What was that, Kieran? Your result?
10.
10. He looks to you, and he the doubt that was in his face from what you perceived earlier is waning a little bit. You could tell that he's still like a little bit of suspicion. Perhaps it's the fact that he's in an unknown environment and is unsure, but he nods his head and he bows kind of deference to you and says, "Whatever you think, I will follow, Lord Kyrian."
That was a 24, by the way, natural 20.
As you investigate the area, so you're at the bottom of this hill, as I had mentioned, on the southeast side of Castle Hill. You see the tracks that kind of go along the forest, the ones that you have been following, and you see just kind of at the base of the hill what looks to be a pseudo-made crossroads. There is a small kind of wide path, or small. It's like small, but wide enough for a big creature to come through. You can see that a couple basically footfalls have met up at a certain location. Both of them turn north around the outside of the hill. One of them climbs its way up the causeway into the mountains, and one continues northward, as it were. However, you do not notice any tracks of anything smaller than what could be Troll's feet.
Valnith notes this and turns to the party and says, "Based off of these tracks, it doesn't look like anything specifically has entered. These tracks go split ways. One goes up into the mountains and one goes around the fort itself. What do you think? Do you think we make the risk of potentially skipping this for a quicker, I guess, march slog on to the next point of interest, or would you feel more comfortable if we checked this out? I'm good with either, but that's just what I noticed."
For the DM,
Yes.
do you remember what we had said, what our two options were? Was it to go, and I'll broadcast my mouse here. Were the options to go straight here and then check here, or to go here, then if stuff went down, we could always have this to go to and then check here?
Well, you did
I kind of
discuss that,
forgot what we had planned.
which is why originally you had decided to go north to south, or south to north, because you have the refuge there.
Right.
However, with the terrain being what it is up north, with Kyrian's knowledge, it would be easier to check here first before going up north. It would probably be faster to do that. With that being the case, if you did just go just north and you found whatever your quarry was at that point, you wouldn't have any need to go back down south. And so that was the options that were being weighed.
Yeah.
And what you guys had decided was to follow along the Troll Shaws to Castle Hill. and at Castle Hill, investigate and make your way north. And so essentially what Caliph is trying to come across is his doubts with the rumors and the stories of this area. If there is even anything like they would stop by here, and if not, just make your way along the river Horwell up north. So that's essentially what he's trying to bring up. So he knows the plan, but he's questioning it as far as now that you have come to the location where you're at.
Personally, myself, I don't know. I think it is worth the quick exploration. If you're uncomfortable doing the exploration stealthily, Caliph, you're more than welcome to wait outside. But I don't mind going in with Kyrian and investigating what's inside.
Likewise. And if nothing else, I might have some information to report to my brethren.
Caliph,
Say you.
he nods, and he says, "The Lords of the North are quite worthy folk. As you can see, I'm not one for scouting, per se, but I can set up watch here to make sure nothing does come in or out. I can watch the crossroads here to see if anything does come, and I can confront you or create some kind of a rabble to alert you to the attention." And he holds up his shield, and the shield is quite nice. It's a great shield, and on the face of it, you see basically this swan, and its wings are spread out on either side, and it's got like kind of like blue and white like paint that's on it. If I do come across anything while you are investigating the castle, I will use my sword and I will bang it against my shield. You should be able to hear it from quite some distance.
Sounds good. We're counting on you, Caliph, to keep watch while we investigate.
And I'm counting on you.
Meet back here.
When do you think? When should I be worried if you do not arrive back?
Where's the sun right now?
So currently, it's like I said, around 3 to 4 p.m. So if basically down the middle of this map it's straight noon, it's like right here. And so you probably have about 4-ish hours of sunlight left. Okay. And the approach to Castle Hill should take no longer than 30 minutes from where you're at.
Yeah.
So maybe an hour, I would say.
Yeah.
30 minutes to get there, set the guard, and then 30 minutes of investigation itself. Especially since it is a ruin, it's not like we necessarily have to go in room by room. It's more of just a quick glance throughout.
So, 2 hours, get worried.
If you do run into anything, what kind of signal should I be listening for?
I'll scream. Do you want me to test out what it will sound like? So you know that it's me and not some like crow of sorts?
I don't think so. I don't want to wake anything up that's inside that keep if there is anything to be woken, especially if it's loud enough for me to hear down here.
My screams have the nice dulcet tones of my normal voice, so you'll know it's me when I'm screaming.
He shakes his head. There's a soft smile that goes on his face as he just shakes it and says, "All right."
I can also make several different calls throughout the wild that are more inconspicuous if you'd rather. How about, I don't know, what sort of animal would I know is in this region? Like an elk or something? I don't know.
Yeah, there's bears, there's elks. I'm glad I didn't pick my veils because my veils sound has elk that randomly call in the background.
Nice.
I don't have that going right now, but there's elk, there's wolves, there are bears as well that are in this area.
Cool. I will make an elk call.
You should choose something that's not native to the region, because what if an elk just randomly calls?
But if I choose something not native
I'll be
to
right
the
back,
region,
guys.
then it would be suspicious.
Would it? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't understand.
Oh.
If I heard, say, If
Cockatoo?
I heard say
A
yes, a
swallow?
cockatoo or a swan, yes.
No, it's a swallow.
Oh, a swallow. Only if it's carrying coconuts.
They're wont to do that from time to time.
Yes, they are. Well, shall we make our way up to the keep then?
I think we shall.
All right.
Stay here, Caliphere.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like a 30-minute walk up to like the area, and then it's like 30 minutes inside is what Kyle was explaining. So
I see. Cool.
So we'll
Wait,
walk
so is
up.
he coming with us for 30 minutes and then?
Yeah, and then he'll like post himself outside,
I
kind of
see.
like by the crossroads and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
That way he can keep watch. I think that was the plan. I don't know. I guess we
Cool.
could verify, but yeah. So
I
do we
guess-
want to stay together during this, or do you want to split up?
Well, I think we should stay together until we get there.
Well, of
And then-
course, but when we actually investigate
there,
the
split
inside,
up.
I don't know how big this building is.
I
Will
probably
require-
do.
Will it require two-pronged approach, or will it be fine if we're like a Shaggy and a Scooby investigating together,
Yes. As they say.
as they
So,
say, the proverbial Shaggy and
Kyrian,
Scooby?
you've never actually set foot inside Castle Hill.
Yeah.
However, from just like the general outside of it, this could probably host, like as far as just general size, it could probably host an army of about 70 to 80 comfortably, maybe as many as 150. So it's not huge. It's definitely a fortification that like people would go to in times of like great need. Think of like Helm's Deep, but like a smaller version of Helm's Deep. So not like a lot of probably living quarters, and so it probably wouldn't take too long to explore if you were doing so.
I
The
say
one
we
thing
stay
I
together.
Yeah, I could keep my bow ready and keep a watch in the distance while you're doing your thing on the inside. I don't have quite the expertise when it comes to investigation. I guess I should say I don't know this region and this castle very well, but I do have a keen eye when it comes to seeing shadowy figures of sorts.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I will
Then I
stand
will
behind
go
you.
scout it out myself, I suppose.
No. I will be right there beside you, but I'll be
Oh.
looking for different things.
Oh, I see.
I will be the Shaggy and you'll be the Scooby, as they say.
Oh, as they say.
You'll
Caleb
you'll
here
be
says a ruh-roh.
you'll be sniffing out
Let-
the clues, and I'll be feeding you Scooby snacks.
The
The
elves
proverbial
are
Scooby
an
snack, I should
interesting
say.
Folk. Sounds good, Elfman.
And with that, you begin to march around the outside as you make your way along the east of the hill, going towards the north. There is eventually where these crossroads do meet, and Caliphere bids you farewell. He actually draws his hood, and he slumps like along with his back along the side of the mountain, trying to keep out of sight from anyone on the road, but still being able to get a good northwardly, southwardly, and eastwardly eastwardly, basically look at everything. And he says, if I do not hear from you in an hour, I will come looking, or hear from you in about 2 hours, I will come looking. Again, I will make sure to alert you if I am to see anything here, but do be careful. This place makes me feel uneasy. Especially because you are, like, quite literally in the shadow of this tower as it rises up above you. With that, Kyrian and Valinith, are you going to be making the approach stealthily?
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm going to have the two of you make stealth checks for me.
All right.
We got this. I believe in us.
Here is my question.
Yes.
Are we still in my known lands, or is that...
Yeah, so technically, you're still in the Trollshaws. So Coldfells are not part of your known lands, is that correct?
Wait, say again.
Coldfells is not part of yours, but the Trollshaws is?
They are both.
Oh yeah,
part
then
of
you're
it.
easily, because the cut off between the Trollshaws and the Coalfells are like literally like right here,
Okay.
kind of like an invisible line
Four-
that goes right here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
14, by the way, for Valinith.
Okay.
The snick roll.
20 unnatural.
The two of you very stealthily make the approach. There's a causeway, as it were, that wraps up and around. It's not quite as broad as maybe it was in the past, where many of the siding of it has kind of crumbled with the weathering of time. However, there is a stone structure, basically like a bridge, that winds its way up, like tight across the base of the mountain, almost as you have to wind your way up and around. And as you do so, believe it's this one. Yeah.
Hey.
Ooh.
As you do so, I'm gonna move these guys out of the way real quick. You find yourself face to face with a large gate, as it were. The gate itself is closed, but it looks quite old. I'm gonna have Valinith. I'm gonna have you make a traditions check for me.
Well, this looks quite old to me. If I had more strength in my legs, maybe I would do a donkey kick, but it's not my style. Well, that's a natural 1 for a 3.
Okay.
So
The
Yeah.
You could definitely tell that time hasn't had quite the effect on this building, as it were, but you are unsure
Okay.
if it is a building that has been repaired or if it has been left to as it was. Kyrian, as you look at this gate, you investigate the outside of it and see that there are no holes or any debris in order to sneak through. So probably the best way to approach this is one of two ways. Either trying to find a way to open this gate, the two of you by yourselves, which just from the sheer look of it, this thing is huge. If it was unlocked,
Yeah.
you probably could pull it. But it would be much easier to push it open from the inside based off of the way that it swings. And so you can either attempt to scale the walls or find another way in.
Really quick, listening. Do I hear any voices or activity inside?
Make a perception check for me.
Valinith puts his ear against the ground.
23.
Whoo.
23. That's pretty freaking good. As you are you laying it like on the wall or like on the ground? Like what are you doing? Or just like sitting there and listening?
Mostly sitting there and listening, slightly against the wall, just checking, like, I guess, listening to see if there's, like, any just open talk or any, like, movement around in the open, and then I guess I'll put my ear against the
There
wall.
definitely is not open talk. However, as you look around and you keep your ears keen on listening, you place it against the side of the wall, and every now and then, probably I would say every 6 or 7 seconds, there's a tiny vibration, just like very small vibration, like a
Okay.
kind of like that. However, it doesn't sound like anything is walking around or moving. You can't feel like the earth or anything moving underneath your feet. But as you look to the ground with that perception check too, you see what looks to be something has been dragged up this causeway, as the stone has kind of faded away into more of like a dirt path at this point. And you can see that something large has been dragged actually through this area, but it doesn't look like it has done so recently. These tracks, as it were, like pulling tracks, seem pretty old, as if they have seen a season or two at least.
Okay. Okay, question. So part of my known lands thing.
Mhm.
Is when tracking other creatures, you automatically learn their exact number, their sizes, and how recently they passed through the area. Can I like do a survival check to try to, um, or do I just know that information?
You would just know that information. And so,
Okay.
as far as like if things have passed through the area, clearly something has, but you're
Yeah.
unsure if whether it was like recently, but you know for sure that within the past couple of months something has come through here. Something big, something to drag something of whatever the size, or many things you're unsure. But
Okay.
there clearly is something within these walls
And
because you
what
don't see
are
any
their
tracks coming out.
numbers?
It probably, it's either something real big or a bunch of somethings real small.
Okay.
Hmm.
Got it.
What do you see, Kyrian? I see
Well,
nothing. Valnith has his ear against the ground, listening to see as if they were moving with, like the masters had the whips behind them, but he hears nothing.
yeah. Do you know that technique as well?
Yes, I hear that when orcs catch the scent of man flesh, they run much quicker.
Ah,
Yes.
wonderful. Well, I can tell that something large or large numbers has come in here, and I don't see any tracks leading out. So I assume they are still inside.
Now that you mention it, Valnith looks on the ground. Valnith inspects the wall to see if
Can,
he can on top and see if he sees anything like moving on top or anything poking over the wall or anything.
Just from your basic sight, you don't see. And so there are two sections of wall that you can see. Basically, this section that comes over like the top of the gate. You don't see anyone
Mhm.
there. And then there's a small section that's kind of by these two towers that you don't see. There is a larger tower here that has kind of like those slit windows that start from the second story and up to the third story. But this is probably about a 10-foot wall. It's not as large of a wall as something that you would typically be used to seeing, mostly because the fortification has been set on a hill as well. It doesn't need to be quite as high. However, at the tallest point, you can see that this tower rises up to 3 stories, and this tower looks to be as if it's rising up to about 4 stories. But this building is on the second story. These two are on the second story, which is like equal level to the wall, if that makes sense.
Mhm. I have an important question that I just saw. Is that mayonnaise on your pizza?
no, it is ranch.
Oh my. Okay, at least it's not
It's the
mayonnaise.
secret sauce from the Hidden Valley.
That's right.
It
You
is
bring it-
Hidden Valley
bring
Ranch.
it-
That is true.
I just got uh a minor flashback to Japan when they do that to their pizza, but it's mayonnaise and not
Oh,
No,
ranch
no. It's mayonnaise and corn.
I
and
mean,
corn. You're right.
there's mayonnaise and ranch, I think,
But
or maybe
it's
not.
more delicious. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Anyways,
It's
Valinith turns to Kyrian and says, "Well, if there is clearly something inside this fort, do you want me to go back while you investigate and let Caliph know, and then make my way
Yes.
back here with him?
I'll meet you outside the front gate in
Investigate and see if you can find a way in."
half an hour. I don't know how long
Sure.
it'll take you to get there and back. So
Yeah, I mean, like
I'm nimble for
from
an elf.
from the approach, basically it counted
He's
from like the
spry.
south end where you were at, making your way around to the east, and pretty much right at the foot of where the causeway starts is where Caliph is, and so he's no more than a solid 5-10 minute walk down the
Oh, okay.
down the path.
Cool.
He
Then
will
while
make
you
a-
do that, I
yeah.
will stealthily walk the circumference, making sure I am not seen, but looking for any sort of weakness in or entry point in this fortress, or just somewhere that would be more easily climbable.
Mhm.
So
Okay, so with that, Valinith, you make your way
Mhm.
down the path. I'm gonna have you make a stealth check for me, Kyrian. Easy.
17.
You are good. Yeah, you stay quite stealthy as you make your way along the edge, and I'm gonna have you make an investigation or survival check for me.
I believe in you. You got this.
Thanks. Investigation or survival. 13.
Are you going left or right to begin with?
I will go west.
Okay. So as you make your way around, you do look at this tower. The only thing that you really notice from this is you can tell that there's a few chips that have been taken out of the roof where some of the shingles have fallen off, and you see them broken on the ground. This is clearly a sign that these roof shingles have fallen off recently, but as you examine them, you see that they are of ancient make, almost as if something has either pulled these off or caused them to fall recently. Chances are, if they've lasted this long, they didn't just naturally fall off. You continue to skirt around the outside until you make your way to the most western point, where there is nearly a sheer cliff that's pretty much flat with the side of the building. If you wish to cross over this way, you're going to have to make a dexterity saving throw to do so, as basically you're kind of like Link and scoot along like the ledge, like as best as you can.
Otherwise,
Than that, it's pretty much there's a small little gradient to the fall, but it's pretty sheer. So if you were to fall, you would be tumbling all the way down to the bottom of the hill.
I see. I will go the other direction then.
Okay, you do so. There are a few nefarious parts, but not large enough for you to have to worry too much about. You could either leap over naturally or just skirt along. As you make your way over to this space here, you see that the roof kind of hangs over the side of the building as it rises kind of up. Based off of just your general knowledge of fortifications, particularly the old fortifications of the Numenorians, this is either some kind of a gatehouse, like barracks gatehouse, or an armory that lies within. And as you shuffle on down to Buffalo over here, you can see that this is probably the main part of the keep. It rises up a whole nother story, and so this side and this wall are second story. This side is the third story along the side, and then that's where this kind of rises up an extra little head, and so this is 4 stories tall. And so this would be a more difficult place to climb or assault if that's the case. But there's either some kind of grand room inside here, or you're unsure. But you make your way over here, and
Can I listen into the wall for a sec and see if I hear anything in the grand room?
Make a perception check for me.
13.
You listen, and as you do so, you still not really hear, but feel the vibrations, still with similar intervals. But it doesn't seem any closer than when you were up at the front of the building. So you're unable to really discern any other information. You have no idea if the sound is coming from within the courtyard, within the building itself, or whatnot. But as you make your way around the side, you can see that there is a large towering roof, and this is likely to be where the main part of the keep is, probably where people have eaten, or if there's some kind of, if it was a lordly location, there would be some kind of like court that would be here. And then you make your right way around the back, there's definitely a facade of a tower, and then it drops down to the 10 feet height as opposed to the about like 20 feet height, as it were, 15 to 20 feet. And you just wander your way around to the side, where you find your way at the sheer side of the cliff. I'm going to have you make an investigation check for me, Kieran.
Nice. Oh, was almost an at 20, but then it rolled to a 2, so 4.
This is not a way to go if you want to be safe. Maybe the most agile person could do so. However, as you do look up, there is a small little portion of the wall that looks like some of the barracks have been damaged. Generally speaking, you don't know if it's old or not, but it looks like as if something large has struck the side and it has been makeshift repaired by wood. The wood itself, it's again difficult to tell, but it doesn't look ancient. It doesn't look rotting. But that could be a potential easier quote-unquote way to ascend up onto the second level, but you would need some people with some pretty high dexterity to get to that point.
Okay. Elves are dexterous.
Well, Valinith is very average for elf, so...
Yeah. Okay. I will make my way back around then.
And as you do so, you see Valinith and Kyrian, or Calafir, make their way back up the path, joining at the gate. You can see that Kyrian, he has very much close to his chest, his shield, but he has his hand on his sword, which is still in its scabbard. And he says, this is an impressive structure. And he looks at it, and he is going to make a traditions check. We'll see.
Assuming at this point Valinith has told him what's going on.
A nice 4. He says, it looks old.
Kyrian, did you find a good way to get in while I met with Calafir? I had explained to him what we had encountered and how he may need his brawn here after all.
I'll relay the info.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The east is 3 stories, so that's probably not going to be the best. Obviously, this was built for fortifications, so it's not easily traversable. There is, however, on the west side, some damage to the wall. However, it is next to a sheer cliff, so that wouldn't be much helpful, I don't think, either.
What we could do, Valinith, after all of this, is there any portion of the wall that, if maybe you got on my shoulders or you got on my shoulders, we could hoist someone up onto the wall and potentially pull someone else? I mean, I don't know if any of us could hoist Calafir up, but at the very least we can at least get it so we can open the gate all from the inside.
If I could take off my armor, I promise you I'm not that heavy. But with all of this on, I would agree. It probably wouldn't be the best idea. I could maybe stand at the base and lift someone up if that would be better. Or better yet, and he pulls out of his pack 15 feet of rope. Maybe if we're able to if someone's able to get up top, we can maybe tie this to one of the fortification pillars. And
yes, I think that would be the best. Together.
So where do you think was the best? Along the backside here? Up here in the front? I feel like up front would be very obvious, right?
Yes, I would think so as well. However, we could get more of a running start, and then you could use your shield to leverage us up.
Oh, yes, I like that idea. It sounds very graceful.
Yes.
Indeed.
And I know elves are.
Oh, so you want me to do this?
I mean, I could also do it if you would rather.
I'll attempt it.
All right, so it's gonna be a twofold check. So Calafir, he is going to make an athletics check, and Valinith, you're gonna make an acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
The athletics check will be made with advantage if that's the case.
Beautiful.
So, I'm not bad at acrobatics. All right.
Oh yeah.
Let's see how our athletics goes. All right, so it's going to be with advantage. So, all right, a 17.
I got a 7.
As you make your running start to go, grab. You have the rope in hand. Calafir is ready with his shield. As you jump to leap on the shield, you don't quite get your footing completely, but boom, he lifts you. And as Kyrian, you stabilize him. You go 5 feet in the air. You're barely able to grab on as your legs kind of splay out from under you. You're like, you sideways and you grab onto the side.
I got this. I got this, guys. Don't worry.
Make an athletics check as you pull yourself up onto the rain
Oh,
part.
God.
And after that, I will say, Caliph, follow me. We gotta hide, because that was not stealthy.
This is a 3.
Hide. I'll lay low, and then I'll have Caliph here and I kind of like hide in this alcove over here, or the most
While I'm just dangling.
inconspicuous location.
Valnith, make a dexterity saving throw for me.
And
It's going to be a disadvantage.
I'll keep my ears open. I guess I'll wait for him to actually make it up there, but Caliph here, make your way over there.
Oh, that was so good, though. Disadvantage. Oh, it's the same roll, 20.
With that, you're able, you feel yourself slipping, and just as you're about to, you're able to dig your nails into a crevice in the stone, and you can feel it beginning to tear at your. But you're able to just pull yourself up to get a hand up and over the wall. But Caliph here does make his way over to the back, and he hides. He looks down, and as he does so, he looks down at the surrounding areas, and he is going to spend his time making an investigation of the land below. It wasn't very fruitful. He got a 2.
Valnith kind of whispers down. I think I got it, guys. I'm gonna pull myself up and tie this on, and he'll spend like the next 2 or 3 minutes doing that.
It was not graceful at all.
Nope.
But you make your way up onto the top. I'm gonna have you make.
Do I hear any commotion at this point?
Okay. Make a perception check for me, Kyrian.
You hear my commotion?
11.
No, nothing that has changed. Nothing clearly obvious. You don't hear any noises from over the wall. You don't see anything, and you hear Caliph here whisper to you, "Looks like the coast is clear," as he has surveying the area outside. Granted, he only got a 2 on his investigation as he does so, but
Nice.
yes, Validith, you make your way up on top. So are you doing it over the gate? Oh, excuse me, over the gate or over the side?
Over the side.
You're able to make your way up top as you tie it off. Make a stealth check for me. It's going to be a disadvantage, Valnith.
It's fine. I get it. I understand. I made a commotion. Stealth. Oh, that's a 7. Okay, never mind. I thought that was a natural 1. We're good.
So 9.
That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. I'll take that roll, but that is a 5.
Oh yeah, baby.
The only thing that is serving you is the fact that it's stone. It doesn't create much give or creaking. However, you make your way up onto the top of the building, and you let down. You tie basically this rope off, and you let it dangle down. Yeah. If there's anything in this courtyard, you made your presence known, but nothing immediately begins attacking you.
Yeah. Valnith says, "I'm sorry, guys. I am out of practice, apparently, when it comes to that. But climb on up, climb on up."
I will climb on up.
Do so. There's enough room, just enough room for all 3 of you to be able to hang out on this wall together.
Valnith peeks over the edge with his bow ready, just kind of peering down.
Once I get up, I pat him on the shoulder and say, "Good job, Elfman.
I did my best, and that's all I can do, right? I'm not dead, so the little victories."
As Caliph climbs, it's a clink, 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 clink as he makes his way up to the top. But the 3 of you find your footing up top this basically castle wall, and directly to your left and right, you can see that there is there's a tower to your left, and to your right, there is basically this room. Both of them don't have doors. It seems whatever door was here has either worn away with time or has been broken and been missing altogether. So you have the ability, and you look through this tower, and you can see completely through to the causeway. And even in this tower, you can see through to a more darkened chamber. Over here to the left, you see that it leads basically just into a dark room.
Does Caleb here have any sort of cloak?
He does, yeah. So he has basically like a blue cape. It's got a very eloquent, like almost like feathered pattern, like embroidered into it, but it does have a hood.
All right. Caleb here, draw your cloak tied around you. Maybe it'll help with the clankety clanks. But we need to move as stealthy as possible. I will scout ahead and follow my lead, and I will. I'll start to the west.
Okay.
Because from what I could tell, there was less area for like large hordes of people to be over there, just to clear that area and know kind of get a lay of the land. So
Valneth's keeping watch as this is happening.
Okay,
Like
so
in the he's gonna kind of be standing in the doorway to that western door.
western
And he's gonna be looking western. Yeah, he's gonna be looking down into the courtyard around, but also like kind of looking back to see Kyrian and making sure that he's keeping an eye on both.
Okay, so Kyrian, you make your way inside. Calefir, he is going to take his position similarly, like halfway into this guard tower, as it were. But Kyrian, as you make your way into the large building, I'm going to have you make a investigation check for me.
All right. And I'll check for traps.
Filthy orc traps. Ain't no big a time for those. Don't get shoved in a bag.
10.
You look around, and it takes a moment for your eyes to adjust to the darkness in here, but you can see that this area clearly used to be a barracks. And so this was the barracks of the building. But along the outside, where you had entered, there's a small, about 5-foot walkway that surrounds the entire length of the building, and you can see down into what look to be disheveled, decrepit beds. Most of the wood and linens have been eaten away by time, but you can see that there is a decent amount of stone, and there is a small, albeit faint, light, but in the darkness you can see it, like kind of a sliver of light that seems to be coming from the south end, spilling here. There is a door, and there's also a staircase that leads down to this area on the north side, to the bottom chambers, essentially.
Okay. I will stealthily check the bottom chambers.
Make a stealth check for me.
Oh, yeah.
So much stealth happening today. So much stealth.
Oof. 15.
Oh yeah, you're very stealthy. You slip your way down the building, or down the stairs into the bottom floor of the chambers, and you can see that this has not been used for some time. There are no footprints or anything that are on this stone floor, but you do see that whatever like wood that was here seems to have been ripped through a iron door that has come here. Fortunately, the iron door is cracked open. It is not locked. You can make your way outside at this point, but you can tell that a lot of the wood has been broken and splintered, not only decayed, but broken and splintered and pulled out into the main courtyard area.
Valneth will see Kyrian go down, and he'll actually like gesture over to Calefir and be like, as Valneth moves back into the room and kind of whispers down, "Anything down there?"
We're clear.
Okay. Well, we're following behind you. We'll follow you, buddy. And I guess we'll make our way down the stairs. And
Right. So the three of you find yourself in this barracks, and there are a number of bunk beds. Probably could house about, or at least back in the past, could house about 30, 40 people easily around the outskirts of this wall. Any chests or belongings of people that used to be here have long either been looted or are just missing completely. And it's pretty much just the timbers of the bed that have been essentially broken, splintered, and taken.
I see.
Okay. It appears they're gathering the wood.
Oh, so there is activity in here. Interesting. Well, I guess we should continue to be stealthy through. Do you want to go right into the courtyard out there, or I think there's
will
looks like.
stealthily make my way out there. And see
It looks like
I'll-
a staircase.
Yeah.
Okay. As you do so, you slip out the side of this iron door, and the iron door actually looks to be in decent shape. The hinges itself aren't creaky, as if it's either been oiled recently or if it's just a really, really good make. But you do slip out without much noise. I'm gonna have you make a stealth check for me, Kyrian. This one could be at advantage.
Oh, they all have been at advantage because I'm in my wilderness area or whatever.
There you go.
So,
It's
Get
advantage.
double advantage, triple advantage.
10.
With
Could be worse.
With that 10, you're
Could be
able
better.
to peer outside, and you're just whoosh, 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 sneaking your way along the side of the wall. And inside this courtyard, it is actually quite the sight to behold. There are a number of bones of people that have been here. The dirt itself seems to be stained kind of like a maroon, almost as if like a red dirt, but as if some battle had taken place long ago. It doesn't look like it's recent, but like all the flesh on these like skeletons have been either decomposed or taken off of them. But there are probably the bones of, from what you could assume, is probably 12 to 15 people within this courtyard.
Wow. I say just whatever the equivalent of Kirian's tiny prayer would be, a blessing or a moving on of the souls or something, you know what I'm saying? Like very Dunedain-ish. I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
As I scan the area for this potential staircase that could lead us up to the next area.
This one here.
Yeah.
Okay, you do so.
Whoa, there's a staircase?
Who knew?
Valinith will follow.
Cool. And
Yeah, I'll signal the whole time. Every time it's clear, I'm like,
you make your way.
Valinith looks at the bones and he's like, "Oh, looks like someone had a bone to pick with these fellas." And he'll walk up the stairs.
You make your way up onto the staircase, and as you find yourself on the wall, you can see that, as Kirian had just barely been able to note before, that there is one piece of chunk that has been taken out of this wall. And the palisades themselves have kind of broken away, and the palisade is still broken away, but the floor has been repaired with wood. I'm going to have you all make perception checks for me.
oh, baby.
The wood.
13.
Perception.
9.
Persuasion.
Caliph here.
Perception. That's a 17 for Valinith.
Hey.
Both Valinith and Kirian, the two of you note that this wood looks too new to be taken from the old barracks, so it most likely is not from there. This wood has been brought in by somebody.
It's been brought in. We best be vigilant. Kirian, you said that the Dunedain were watching over this place, and this is the Dunedain's work. I think they've been lacking a bit.
Well, this again, I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
I'm just talking smack about your people. It's okay. No, I only jest. in a serious situation, you got to have a jest every now and then, because you know it helps break the mood. But this is definitely suspicious. We should continue to be on our guard as we make our way through.
Yes.
Caleb here, he whispers over to the two of you. Do any of you see any signs of recent activity within here? It looks like a battle was fought here long ago, but I don't see any tracks in or out.
Do you see this wood? That's new wood.
That is activity that has happened recently.
He bends down and he sees that like the craftsmanship does look pretty rudimentary, but the wood still has actually a scent to it. It's definitely not decayed to time. And he says,
Should we pull away this wood?
No.
Caleb,
Ruin whatever.
I think this is important to the structural integrity of this wall.
I was thinking that, you know, just to spite whoever did this, if we ruined their hard work.
Maybe on the way out if we have time.
Oh yes, that sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, where is the group headed? Are you
We'll
still
continue
sticking
along the
together?
wall,
Keep going
yes.
around, yeah.
Okay.
Unless, wait. I had a thought. Unless, Valineth, you think there might
I'm
be a
listening.
troll in here, and then we could play Toro with it, and have it rush the wall, hit into the wall, and then fall down the hill.
So maybe loosen it a little bit, you know? Just make it a little bit.
Stealthily.
Okay. Valinith will like wiggle it to make sure it's like not necessarily like this wood part right here, but like that's blocking off this area, you know?
Make an athletics check for me.
He'll wiggle it like ferociously to the point where it just weakens its integrity. What is this? An
Athletics check.
Oh man.
It's gonna be so good, man.
16.
You wiggle it, and after
I
after
wiggle
a
it.
few back and forths, you can hear a as like the nails that have been placed inside like splinter like the wood that's holding it, and so it could maybe hold a couple of people on it still, but like it would be like creaky and like a little bit sketch. If something were to hit it full force, it would definitely break. Like if you were to jump on it, it would just crack.
And maybe Calefir, maybe you could help me attempt to, you know, loosen this like one or two of the floor ones as it gets close to the edge. So if someone steps on it, it enables them to fall forward a little bit.
All right,
You know,
he's gonna make an athletics check too.
like this.
He's pretty good
Forward.
at this. 13. And he does so as he cracks a
the
few
first
of the
few
boards.
planks.
He does it with a little bit more ease than Valinith does.
Do I see any activity yet?
Make a perception check for me.
15.
At this point, you made your way, starting to kind of go around the back. You can see that this is an old stable that has basically stone pillars on the side. You can see within the buildings, and you can see that there is probably about 4 stalls that are within, and then there's actually this area, probably about 5 feet by 15-ish feet, 12 feet. Is completely enclosed, but the stables themselves are accessible from the outside by any means. But are you gonna move further, or are you gonna just stand closer to him?
I mean, I'll move further.
So as you make your way along the wall, you can see what looks to be at basically this juncture, the remnants of an old arbalest, and it has a couple of arrows that are still there, like large arrows. They're intact, and they look pretty darn old. I'm gonna have you make a traditions check for me, Gideon.
Are these like the ones in the movie of The Hobbit?
Kind of, but they're not like steel, like black shafts. They're like, kind of like an iron, as it were. 21.
You said traditions? Yeah, 21.
Wow. You look at this. This is clearly of Numenorian make. These arrows, and they have been here for quite some time. You can tell that the barrel that they have been in has been broken or decayed. But 3 of these giant arbalester bolts are scattered within the wall. Sorry, there's a bug. Scattered within the wall. The arbalest is probably functional if you could spend a little
Load
bit of
it.
time to repair it.
Nice. Cool. I will gesture for my compadres to follow.
And we'll be like, and Valinith will walk up and be like, "Ha, take that, you evil filth."
Good job.
Oh, an arbalest.
Looks like if
quaint.
we repaired it, it might be functional.
I'm gonna have all 3 of you, make investigation checks for me.
Oh boy.
We got this. Don't worry. There's 3 of us.
Not investigation. Sorry. Traditions.
Okay.
Do you want me to
Tradition.
re-roll it, or
I'm
just
gonna
use
re-roll.
what I got and use the different modifier?
You can re-roll
That's
and
for
no, not re-roll. You could just use the different modifier.
Oh, okay. Then that'd be a 6 then.
17.
I'll take the 6.
17. You have some experience with helping to rebuild fortifications. You're unsure if you about specific Numenorian construction, but probably with about 10-15 minutes, you might be able to get this into working order. You just need probably a couple of pieces. Like one, you would need a rope strong enough to be able to use as like some kind of a string. But if you were able to get it the right size, you would be able to get it. So if you were able to find a rope or use a rope that you have, you would be able to get this in working condition if you want.
Nice. Do I have a rope?
Do we want to fix this right
you would
now,
need,
or do
you would
we
need
have?
you would need a 5-foot rope, or at least 5-foot length of rope.
Okay.
Do we want to move on? Well, maybe we can come back. Maybe inside, we can find some materials. Seems like there's plenty strewn about.
Indeed. I just think if a battle goes down here, especially with trolls, this might be a good thing to have.
Agreed. Do you want here?
Oh, and by
Valinith
the way,
will-
the arbalest is not bolted into the ground. It's heavy. It would take like the full strength of one person, or with a little bit of difficulty, 2 people to move it. But it like you could like move the full thing. It probably weighs close to 400 or 500 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
like it's
gosh.
made out of like iron, as it were.
Yeah. Numenorians, they do it right.
Well, I'm looking and I'm not seeing. Here, let's see. I got lots of hagweed in case anyone needs that.
Good.
Caleb,
yes.
Caleb
I do have a
looks
rope.
to you and says, "Well, hopefully we don't run into any hags."
Yeah. I would agree. The only hag that I would like to see is Lady Galadriel herself. Don't tell her I said that. Anyways, Valinith pulls out his 50 feet of rope and cuts off 5 feet of it with his dagger and hands it to.
Nice.
Am I the only one
Tyrion.
that can repair this?
Yeah, I rolled an 8, so
Boy.
Yeah.
All right.
don't worry. I'll keep watch.
Kieran got a 5, or Caleb here got a 5. With that being the case, you can either do a sleight of hand check for me or a survival check.
Oh
Can I
boy,
support
I'll
him?
do survival.
Yeah, this could be an advantage.
I'll support you.
Nice. Oh, thanks for the support. 22.
You're welcome. The
You're
moral
able
support
to,
helps.
as basically Valinith, you are able to create a knot thick enough to be able to basically withstand some intense tension. You're able to like string it on one end, and Kirian, you and Calafir, with both of your strength, you pull the length of rope as best as you can, while Calafir is like trying to like basically like splinch like the metal part in, and you're able to just get the other loop around the other side of the arbalest.
Shall we position this towards this door, perchance?
So this is a
Or maybe
ladder,
off into
actually.
stuff? Oh, I see. I see.
Nice.
Is there any way? Can we see any way to get into this building right here?
There's a small, not from the current position that you're at, but there is how do I explain? Like the small like slit like arrow windows like along the outside
Yeah.
of it.
Hmm. Maybe what we can do is move the arbalest over back towards this. Set it
Yes.
over here, and then if some dubious troll wants it to, destroy it, have its way, we could maybe come up behind it and push it off the cliff.
Caliphier says, "Do we want to be risking the arbalest if there is a troll?"
No, I don't think so.
I was just thinking it's good
I
bait
think
to bring it over
we
there.
should probably move it so that we can aim toward maybe the inside area of the courtyard, but
That is true.
maybe
Maybe
just a
we
few
move it.
feet to the east.
Maybe we move it over here and set it right here, so that we have the entire courtyard to see.
This thing is heavy, Valinith. I think because we loosened
think
the
just a
boards, I
few
think it's going to
feet.
break through.
Yeah,
Well, we'll put it a little bit closer to the edge.
I think we just move it a few feet to the east.
Caliphier
right,
says, "I
have
would
it your
happen to
way.
agree with Kyrian."
Have it your way.
And kind of aim it in this direction. So like here pointing this way so that it kind of
Yeah, basically
Has
you would
that
get
range.
like this 90-degree angle of coverage.
yeah.
I'm gonna have the three of you make a athletics check, and you take the highest result of it. You're going to have to get a 15 or higher to move this.
It's a 9. We believe Caliphier. Get it, Caliphier. Kyrian
Nine-
too, apparently.
19 and a
Nat
15.
20
Ho ho ho.
or 19.
The
I
three
got
of you,
this.
the three of you are able to shimmy it to a point where I'm gonna actually put this on.
Val's
right
not doing a
here.
whole lot. Valinith is just like, okay, all right.
Because of
Move
the
it this way.
swivel, this thing actually has a 360-degree swivel.
Ooh.
So you could position it in any way. However, this rooftop does rise up at its highest peak to about like 6 or 7 feet over this part of the wall. And so you would not be able to get any coverage. Basically, it would be like a 90-degree coverage from, I guess, technically 270. Would that be? Like this area.
Yeah.
Um,
I gotcha.
So who wants to sit here and man this? I feel like maybe someone should be sitting up here just in case there is anything that we find on the inside. That way, when we come out, someone's ready to use it.
Caleb here, he says, my expertise in combat I've had some training in actually using war siege equipment. However, I'm more well situated to fighting on the front lines. I'm much more comfortable doing that.
I'll do it.
I think you
I volunteer as tribute.
Caliphier, he looks to you and he says, "Have you had training in siege warfare?"
No, but neither did Bard the king, and yet he slew a dragon.
He
But
looks
used a bow.
he looks at you like with a little bit of suspicion. He says, "Do you need me to teach you?"
Yes. I mean, that would be good.
All right. Caliphier is gonna.
I will scout ahead while they do this.
Caliphier is going to do so. Valinith, I'm gonna have you make a traditions check for me
Traditions. Oh, please roll well.
with advantage because Caliphier is helping you.
Sweet. That's pretty good. All right, let's see what the. Oh, that's even better. 21.
He teaches you well enough. You know the basic gist of this, how to exactly position and how to move basically this arbalest around. There is essentially a 2 triggers that you have to press on the side that releases the. So basically, if you just pressed one, it wouldn't do it. You'd have to press both at the same time in order
Valinith
to release it.
Turns.
However,
to,
the one thing that is going to be difficult, and Kyrian or Caliphier teaches you this, is if you want to load another bolt into this,
That's what he's about to.
it's going to take a decent amount of strength. Because of that roll, you know that you have to pass a athletics check of a 12 in order to reload this.
Ooh.
All right, I will keep that in mind.
All right.
Can we load it now? Is
He
it
does some
loaded right now?
calisthenics.
Yeah, like you
Yeah,
don't need to worry about loading it now. The three of you can load one bolt into this, but if you want to use any bolt outside of that, then by one person it's going to be a 12. You can do it without a check with two people.
Nice.
Cool.
So
Nice.
Oh, and based off of everything that you have with this, okay, so now technically speaking, because of that roll, you have proficiency in this. In this case, you don't just get proficiency in siege equipment to begin with, but this
Dang it.
Arbalest,
Just
it's got
in this.
a +4 to hit for basically any roll. So it's going to be a dexterity check +4.
Okay.
Just regular dexterity +4, and then it has, as far as damage goes, it's 4d8 plus your strength modifier.
Oh my gosh. And it is a dexterity. So would I just roll a dexterity saving throw then and then add 4?
No, not the saving throw. You would just click your dexterity stat, and then that gives you just a straight dexterity check. Like I just rolled a nat 1 for a 0, and so you would just click your dexterity check.
I'm
and
pretty
that-
dexterous, so at
that
least
would
we'll let you
be
hit.
to hit, and then then you would basically
Strength.
roll 4d8 plus your strength modifier. You
Well,
don't
yeah,
need
it's
to
a
roll
+0,
strength.
but that's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
so
pretty good.
cool. With that, Kyrian, you are scouting ahead. You make your way over to this stairwell. You have two options to explore. You have a ladder that goes up onto this roof, onto the 3rd level, or a stairway that goes downwards.
I will go up to the 3rd level.
Okay, you do so. You make your way up to the top, and you see that you get a pretty good view of the forest and the Trollshaws. However, as you investigate this wall to the side, you see that there is a door that does close this, and it is a similar iron door to what you saw down below. However, it is closed. You're unsure if it's locked or not, but it is closed.
I will.
Shake it.
Is there a handle?
There's a handle. It's like one of those like kind of like latch handles where it's not like you could do this and then it'll spring back up. Like it's like a. It looks to be like in a closed position, like horizontal.
Yeah. I will check it for traps.
Okay, I'm gonna have you make an investigation check, survival check, for me.
Nice. 24.
No, this isn't trapped. It looks like it's been left for quite some time.
Okay. I will, as quietly as possible, open it.
I'm going to have you make an athletics check for me.
Oh no.
This is an iron
okay.
door. This is a
Oh.
old heavy thing.
I believe in you.
18.
You begin to
I'm rolling hot.
like you begin to use all of your strength in order to lower this. You see that the lever doesn't go downwards, so you decide to push up, and it slowly, inch by inch, moves up. However, there is a high pitch as you begin to do so. You can continue to do so to completely unlock it, or you can leave it as it is.
I got a ballista.
I've made it this far. I'll keep opening it.
All
Our
right.
ballista.
At this point, they've heard me if they've already, you know.
I'm gonna have
like,
you
Someone was farting on the inside.
I'm gonna have
yeah.
you make a stealth check for me, Kyrian, with a disadvantage.
So normal.
Yep.
Yep, normal.
All right.
Get it.
24.
You're
God.
you're able to finagle it enough and move it in spurts, having kind of your your knowledge of locks, to make as little noise as possible as you hear a dun, click, and you are able to open it. And it actually swings freely. It doesn't make, again, the hinges are very, very high quality as it swings out.
Just not
You
the
look,
latch.
and you see the bolt itself looks to be rusted, as if this is a different kind of metal. And so as it's begun creaking, you can see that the door frame and everything, as it were, is in rough shape. However, the door itself is in pretty good shape. You swing it open, and the light begins to pour into this room. And as you do so, you hear a low...
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Well, there's something.
I start to close the door.
You didn't check what it was?
Quickly.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's a troll. Do I know what it is?
I'm going to have you make a perception check for me.
Okay.
You're on the 3rd floor. He's not going to be chilling on the 3rd floor.
26.
This is a similar... Jeez. This is a similar situation to this building over here. This room is much larger, where you see that there is kind of like a surrounding balcony. And you can barely see down with like the light that comes in, that there is basically this big great room that's down, and you can see what looks to be a large hand on like the belly or chest of something, as if whatever this beastie creature is sleeping.
Is it a black Hinox?
Yeah.
One eye. It's nice.
It's terrifying. All right.
But with just that glimpse, you're unable to tell. It's a troll, but you're unable to tell what kind of troll it is.
Yeah. Even with my 26 glimpse.
Even with your 26.
All right.
And like the sunlight spills across to the other side of it, and you can see that there are slits, but it pretty much only illuminates that upper floor, like that third ring, as far as like where the sunlight is. It doesn't like go down.
Have I woken him up?
From what you can tell, it sounds like heavy breathing. With that perception check, it looks to be asleep still. Sounds to be asleep still.
Love that.
You know what an upset troll sounds like.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, I will stealthily retreat out of the room and relay that information quietly to my compadres.
Valna says, well, what are we waiting for? These are who we're after, right? Calefir's companions are stuffed in a bag. You should grab that bag.
Did you see a bag?
Did not. Do you want me to take a closer look and get closer to the troll?
Don't get stuffed in the bag.
The question, Kyrian, as Calefir, he is trying to assess the situation. Did you see any other entrances into this location other than the upper floor? Perhaps we can lay a trap, at least target this arbalest towards the door if it does try to follow in any other way. But I do also think that a matter of looking around within this area might be the best idea. Did you see, other than a creature lying within, did you see anything else that could be useful? Other hallways, other sources of light, or anything like that?
Well, across the way, right, I did see another door on the other side. Right?
On the bottom floor, across the way, you saw a basically like a round like hallway. But it was pitch black, and so you didn't see actually any doors across the way.
Oh, what did I see across the way? Windows?
Windows, and so there's like the slit windows that are like on each side.
Okay. Oh. Well, there are windows on the other side, and I think that there is potentially an entrance on the ground floor. I would assume so, considering it was pretty much a walkway on the upper floor. And he's on the bottom floor. So, yes. So there is a lower entrance, I believe. I would assume.
He thinks for a moment as he looks to the two of you. You understand, my expertise is in battlefield tactics, and so now that we know that a threat exists, we can potentially prepare some kind of something that would be advantageous to our look. However, I do not want to abandon knowing that a creature such as this exists in here. I don't want to abandon my companions if they are here.
Yes.
Clearly trolls, they like to keep fresh food for later.
Mm.
And I would not allow my companions to succumb to such a fate.
Glad to hear it.
If I were to do so myself, I would even go in and go around. I would most likely take my armor off if I were to do such a thing. But also
Leave
that would
that
not
armor
speak.
on, my friend. I will get closer to the beast and find out what else is in that room.
Quick
Just
question:
cover me.
If I arbalested around the side here, I know it's like kind of open down to stables. Could I aim over here?
No, because the roof, it comes to a tip point here and it slopes down to the side. So you could actually walk out onto the roof.
Oh, okay. All right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like the end of the roof is flush with the wall, and so you could walk up
Gotcha.
here. But there would be, if you wanted to carry the arbalister out there would be no like sure footing for it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
There,
I was just curious. I was wondering
so
if it was
no.
like a little bit higher and I could turn it and still see the wall, but not necessarily the ground. But okay, that
If
makes
you
sense.
moved it closer to here, you would be able to see spots here because of the way that the arch is. However, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
be able
but
to
we
see
wouldn't
all the
have,
way.
and we wouldn't have like a direct shot down. I'm
That's
assuming.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll leave it there. That's fine. Mhm.
I will stealthily make my way down these
Maybe
stairs.
Caliph should be down there as well. Maybe not inside, but maybe be in his general vicinity.
Sure.
I'm gonna have both of you make stealth checks for me, Califir and Kyrian.
Stealth. Oh no.
It's okay. We got an arbalest.
7.
So 4.
Oh boy.
Let's go clinking down the stairs.
I think I tripped on the stairs or something. I don't know.
I would assume that you were trying to help Califir become less stealthy, so you weren't focusing on your stealth, but he's still clacky. As you make your way down the stairs. However, as you do, you notice that where the doorway should be to enter into this hall is a big gaping hole in the wall, and it is followed by a horrid stink that comes from within. If you didn't know that there was a troll there before, this is clearly a troll.
Great.
A troll hole.
Do I see any other doors or entrances over here? Because you mentioned across the way I saw like the beginning of a hallway or something.
Mm-hmm.
So are there other doors or anything over here?
Actually. So you see a door that is here. Basically, that's connected to this tower that's on the ground floor.
Okay.
And then here would be your only other. So it's basically here or here.
Okay. I will go over here as stealthily as I can.
Okay.
And I will try to open that door, I suppose, and try to do some reconnaissance on the last area we haven't checked yet.
Also,
is gonna go into the stables just enough so he can like duck inside to get cover. But also, if he needs to be out in the open, he can easily be there at the ready, keeping his eyes on the troll hole doorway.
Great.
I'm also wondering, I mean, strategically, because obviously the troll's down in like the center here, right?
Yeah.
If it isn't just smarter if we do decide to make an assault on the troll, doing it all from the top of the wall, because it's not like he can do anything, and then maybe Caliph, you're clogging up a area, and we can do something like that. I don't know. I'm just trying to think ahead.
I like it.
If Caliph says if worst comes to worst, I would agree. We should put as much stone between us and a troll as possible for us to at least buy a few moments to be able to get hits in. I think that Arbalester would do probably the most damage as long as we have 3 shots on it. As long as we have the ability to do so, I think it'll deter it from trying to pursue us anymore. At this point, about another hour has passed, and so it's about 5:30, getting closer to 6. So you have about an hour or 2 of sunlight. The sun has definitely started to become the setting motion, and so you can see there is shade that goes to about here-ish from the wall, but this is all still, for the most part. This part here is also shaded, but this area here is in complete sunlight too.
Okay.
I
We should be
will.
quick about it. If that's
Yes,
the
I
case.
will stealthily and as quickly as possible scout out the rest of this area.
There is another iron door that is here, but it is also open. It is ajar.
Oh,
So
good,
you can
good.
squeeze in.
Pretty
I'm gonna
good.
have you make a stealth check as you make your way into this
Oh,
tower.
good. That last one. Thought you were gonna keep the last one, and I was like, oh crap, I'm done for. 22.
22. As if in the shadows, you slump into the hallway, and what is revealed to you? I think this is the correct one.
Oh boy.
Is the inner workings of this this keep, as it were. You wander to and from, and you can see that it is a bunch of connecting hallways. There isn't much here. Most of any of the furnishing, tapestries, and anything has been decayed, gone with time. But there's a dank cold, but you do not smell the scent coming from the troll hole before. But there are a few rooms to basically the on the southern side of this. And there are still doors. They are wooden doors, but they are closed off to the main hallway. If you wish to look inside them, you can try to do so.
I will first listen to hear like any breathing or anything on the other side. So or slash check for traps, you know.
Make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Believe
so
in you,
many
Kyrian.
checks today. Oh,
Okay.
14. Okay.
14.
I thought it was a 1. It was a 7.
I thought that too.
You listen into both of these doors, and you don't hear anything coming, like no noises at all coming from within. Do you wish to open or
Yes, I will
proceed?
try to open the first door here.
You do so. You reach for the handle, and as you do so, the handle immediately falls off, and the door swings open.
Nice.
It's a small room.
Open.
It looks to be nothing more than a old closet. Probably there was food in the past, but all traces of wood have been excavated from this area as well.
Okay.
You see that there's some like iron rivets and whatnot that have been scattered throughout the floor, but they are rusted and well worn to time. You make your way to this door, and to a similar degree, you're able to just push it in. Any kind of lock that was here has long decayed. It's the armory. You see that there are a number of weaponry that is still on the wall, and in their racks. These don't look... Actually, no. Make a traditions check for me.
Yeah.
Oh, are they sick?
Oh,
They're Numenorian, I'm sure.
6.
Oh.
These look to be...
Wait! Quick, Brit! Someone give me a reroll!
I'll give you 10 seconds.
Here, I can do this for you.
I think she went off.
Hold up. I can do this for you. Give me a second.
All right.
Hold on. Bam. I could do that for you.
Okay, D16.
Okay.
That is a 3.
All
Nice.
right.
It's okay.
The weapons in
Sweet.
here are mostly those that make up a typical vanguard. You see a number of spears. There's one great spear that is hung on the wall, and this is actually probably similar to what many of the Dunedain use to hunt. So like kind of like a boar spear. It has a little bit of extra reach, which is pretty cool. But many of the swords and blades that are here, any of the valuable ones have been either looted or lost to time.
Dang it.
Or taken somewhere, because the Dunedain haven't necessarily come to this place as of recently, but many of the old fortresses of Arnor have also been like basically pillaged through by the Dunedain for anything of use. And so One of the things that you know, however, Kyrian, is trolls also like to grab valuable-looking weapons. They have a discerning eye for things, and so if there is a troll here, so if there is something valuable that's here, it's most likely in its troll hoard as opposed to in the barracks.
In here. Okay, cool. I'll keep looking then.
Okay. You make your way down the side, and you see in this area technically 3 doors. So there's a door to the south here. This has been completely blown through, almost as if something has forced its way through. There is a door here, and it remains closed, and then there is a tower here, so tower stairs that go up to the upper levels.
Okay. Can I see into this room?
You can.
Because you said this was open. Is that where the troll is?
You immediately, as you come across this threshold, begin to smell something rank. You see that there is the remnants of what was a troll. However, like for example, bones and bodies and garbage and that kind of stuff. Not bodies, like bones of things and rubble. However, there is a large hole here, and extending into here, you can hear very loudly the. And this is most likely the vibrations that you were feeling before. Is just the breathing of this creature.
Beautiful, beautiful. I will check inside this room right quick.
It is a more regal, ornate door, but it is still made of wood. I'm going to have you make a survival check first before you attempt to do anything.
16.
16. You can see that long ago there was a lock that was on this door. And most likely there is a key that goes to it. You reach for the handle, and it is still locked. Because of the make of the store, it is still in functioning condition, and it doesn't just swing open. You could probably force your way through, but at the risk of making some noise. However, if you were able to find a key to this area, you would be able to find your way in pretty easily.
Okay. I will keep my eye out for a key then.
Okay.
Okay, because this is a fancy schmancy room. Interesting. Because I'm assuming this is like the officer's office or something.
Could be.
I didn't see a key or anything in the past 2 rooms.
Everything seems strangely empty.
Okay.
There's not a lot along the
I
walls.
will plug my nose. I assume I kind of have like a handkerchief or some sort of mouth
absolutely
covered.
Some kind of cloth to
your shirt.
Yeah, basically. And I will enter into this room very stealthily. And what do I see in there? Oh, more maps.
Another map.
Oh my! I'm in here.
Gosh.
Oh crap! Oh my goodness. Okay.
You step into here. So Caliph here is
Wowie.
here.
I'm here. Don't worry. I got it.
Arbalest
Bam.
is right here.
Okay.
And Valineth is right here.
Okay.
And what you see...
I see the exit there. That's good.
Is laying on this pile the feet of a troll.
Oh my.
I'm going to have you make a acrobatics check for me, Kyrian.
Oh no.
As you begin to step through the rubble into this room...
7.
You begin
it's slightly below average.
You begin to feel like you're carefully planting your steps to not hit any bones or rubble or anything that hits, but your foot falls into something soft as just You have stepped full force into some troll dung that seems to be littering this hallway, almost as if this is its room where it lives, or this area is its toilet. This is very clearly where the smell is coming from.
Nice.
Boots can be cleaned.
Yep. I keep it together as best I can. I check this door. I'm basically right now. I'm trying to look for like
Make a wisdom
any
saving
live
throw
people.
for me.
Oh no.
You're wisdomy though.
Ugh. Not with that. Not one.
You gain 1
4.
point of shadow.
Oh, hold up. That was. Do I get advantage on that if it was against shadow?
Is that one of your features?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold
advantage
on.
then. I think it's like specific
I
sources
have
of shadow.
advantage on wisdom saving throws against corruption.
Yep, there you go. You get advantage on that.
Sweet.
Freaking Dunedain.
It's gotta be better than that one.
8.
You gain 1 point of shadow.
Dang it!
It's okay. It's okay. You're not a high elf. It's temporary, right?
Potentially.
Potentially
How do
temporary
I
shadow.
track that?
We in the other campaign, I just in the notes section in your character sheet, I just have everybody have like their shadow total. And so I think you have a shadow total as much as your wisdom score. And so once you hit that wisdom score worth of shadow, then you gain like permanent points of shadow essentially.
Okay.
So just under like notes or other or something, put how many points of shadow you have.
It's based off your wisdom score.
Based off your wisdom score.
That sucks. Okay.
It's okay. It happens.
I'm gonna have you make
How do I
one
get-
last stealth check.
Oh boy.
So you can take
howdy.
fellowship phase actions to do so to get rid of shadow.
Okay. Oh.
It's pretty shadowrific, I'll tell you. Stepping in troll dung.
Well, that, but just like the general gruesomeness of everything that's here too.
Nat 20 for a 25.
You become the shadows. Which means
I gain a point of shadow and I become it.
yeah, which means you can go into this room without any disturbances for the next 5 minutes.
Beautiful. I do so, and I look for any people.
Okay. As you search around, you can see that much of the wood that has been looted throughout here seems to have been brought here. There's makeshift chests all over the place, as if to keep some kind of treasure from within. You see that there's a pile of bones and there's dried blood within it. However, on the bed that this troll is currently sleeping on, you can see there is fresh blood as well that seems to be on the kind of like it's almost like straw hay that it's looted from the stables. You sneak your way around to the back and you see that there are a number of treasures. Some look more valuable than others, but one of the things that you see on top of this hoard is a small little box, probably yay big, and it is fine craft. Very fine craft. I'm going to have you make a traditions check for me.
Oh boy.
Believe in you.
Thanks. 23.
This is clearly the work of the dwarves.
Nice.
It is a not necessarily just any dwarves, but the dwarves of the Blue Mountains, who are basically expert toy makers. When Thorin and his company were wandering around in the wild, that was one of the things that one of the trades that they were known for is exactly that, creating toys. This looks to be a toy, a very valuable toy.
Okay. Noted.
And as you make your way around to the back, you see that there are still more chests and whatnot. This place has pretty much gone through, and as you look up, you can see around basically this portion, there is the balcony.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so the balcony is around here.
Brilliant. But I didn't see any people.
You didn't see any people.
Okay, I come back out here.
Yes.
I check this last room.
Mhm.
Is that also locked?
There's no door that's actually here. This has been broken off. Inside this door looks to be the larder of the troll where it keeps all of its food. Basically, you see barrels and sacks of what look to be an assortment of meats and whatnot. I'm going to have you make a perception check for me.
Okay. Oh, 17.
There's the remnants of a large wagon. You make the connection that this is probably the large drag marks that were outside. All of the food and everything, some of it looks despoiled, some of it looks preserved enough, as if this troll had picked off some kind of caravan of sorts, and it looks to be dwarven again, as if it's been like dwarven meats, dwarven food, dwarven goods.
Okay. Okay, good to know. I will come back out here and confer with the peoples. I will relay all that information to them. Looks like
Valinith
there
is
was
listening
a
down.
dwarven caravan that this troll took, so I don't think it's who we are tracking. However, if you all are up for it and we could end a troll here. Oh, could I see what kind of troll he was when I was in there?
Yes.
I was pretty close.
He was a stone troll.
Nice.
Oh,
he's a
and
stone
actually, it's not a he, it's a she.
She's a stone troll. So, and it's still light out, right?
Yeah. Caliph here looks to the sky and says, "It looks like we have about an hour and a half of sunlight left. If we were to do anything, it would be now."
Now is the time. All right. Should I go and wake it up from up top or from down below?
Valinith probably calls out and says, probably from up top, because they'll have to leave to go and see.
I will quickly climb back up onto the balcony. And I will.
Hold up. Before you do so, Caliph here says, "Let us create a battle plan. More than just before we just wake it up."
Yes, but if it gets out into the sunlight, it dies.
That's true, but as of now, from what I can tell, is there is so basically there's shade that like goes from the top of this the barn. It provides enough shade to where it can go out into this portion of it, and as the longer that it goes, the more shade here. So basically, from this corner here, it cannot go past this area. However, it can come out here. Perhaps if you were to get some kind of a preemptive strike on it, more than just waking it up, you have a bow, don't you?
Shooting an arrow into its neck.
If we can get a shot and maybe enrage it, we can send it into a rage to come out here. I can use my armor and my shield and call out to it to get it to come out into the main area, and with some luck, we might be able to coax it into the sun, or better yet, Valinith can get a shot into it. Shot or two.
Should I do it from the ground level so that I can run and lure it into the sun, or should I do it from up top?
I don't think it will willingly go into the sun, but if I stand down here, I can take a couple of hits if it decides to become violent towards me. That way, Valinith can at least get 2 shots off at it if he's able to load it.
That is true. Just make sure you're not in the way.
I will do my best.
I don't want to accidentally
shoot it
hit
from
you.
up top.
I will make sure to stand far enough back so the point when it comes out into the open, you'll be able to get at least one clean shot before I engage it in combat. Because if it does see you, it will. Trolls are stupid, but they're not dumb in the means of warfare. I have fought a troll or two in my time, and if they see that there is a siege weapon, it's going to go after that before it goes after me. But I will do what I can and see what to do, if I can do what I can to make sure to keep its attention for as long as I can. Kyrian, after you've waken it up, What is your plan? Do you want to assist from the roof, or do you want to come down and greet her with me?
I can have support bow and arrow fire from up top. And if we need, I can always drop down into the fray. But I find with trolls, keeping your distance is usually best.
Indeed. He lets out kind of like a sigh, but you can
What?
see that there is a like a thrill, that kind of like a fire that goes into his eyes.
But if you would like me to be with you, I am willing.
My brother, I don't see us needing to do more than we can. The more bodies that are down on the battlefield, the less chance of Valinith to be able to get a clear shot there is. If you want to support from the roof, that might be the safest bet for all of our sakes.
Wonderful. Am I able to squeeze through the windows on the other side? So like up here, could I get onto the roof from up here,
Valinith
or,
calls
like,
down.
come up
Valinith
those-
calls down to Kyrian and says, I don't see a reason why you need to be over there, Kyrian. Why don't you come after you finish shooting him here?
and help
Why
me
don't you come over
reload.
by here and assist me with the reload?
Good call.
Um,
Yes. All right. To your battle stations, men.
All right, and so as Caliph he goes just outside of. He's gonna kind of favor the side over by the sun-ish, and so if he moves past this area, there's gonna be some sunlight. Caliph is going to do that. Kyrian, you make your way up onto the balcony, onto the south side, and as you do so, you notice that over kind of on this far side, there's a small hallway that leads over to the tower, and so the tower spills out into the direction out onto the fortification, or down into this main area down here. So there is two methods. You can go back through the door here, or you can go over to the tower and make your way downwards.
I'll go up the ladder and like up top there,
Okay.
so that I can more easily get to the ballista. Should we move the ballista? Because if we hit him from behind, if he's positioned thus-wise, we could potentially hit him into. I don't know how powerful the ballista is, and if it would make it stumble in that direction, but we could probably try to hit it into the sunlight.
astute. So are you talking about right here
Yes.
or right here?
That might be a little too close.
Yes. All right, we'll go right
So like
here.
right there.
All right, I'm gonna have
That way
the
it's less
group of you
distance
make.
to destroy.
I'm gonna have the group of you make an athletics
Yeah.
check.
Oh boy. See if we
It's
can.
okay, we got this.
You definitely got
Come
it.
on, baby. Oh, Caliph here.
Do I
My
even need to
guy.
roll?
No,
My guy.
you're able to.
Valinith is just gonna moral support it.
You're able to move move it to a decent spot so you can kind of
All right.
hit him from
With
the
haste.
side.
I go up top. I yell, "Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey," and I shoot an arrow into its throat area as best as I can.
All right, and as you do so, I'm gonna have you roll an attack.
Oh yeah, baby. Just a normal.
Yep, bow attack.
Oh.
Does he
12
get
to
advantage
hit.
since it's sleeping?
Yeah, technically you get sneak attack on it, so you would get advantage on it. It's like a preemptive kind of strike. So.
Unnatural 20.
Heck yeah. 1 second. I am.
Right, it's goiter.
I need to jump over here real quick. To combat. All right. Go ahead and roll damage, because that definitely hits.
Oh my, why all these ones? 6.
All right. You loose
There's
this
nothing.
arrow, and it just boom. You aim for the neck, but it hits right into its chest, and so this arrow, and it goes. You hear a as it's squinting its eyes as if trying to see. It has not noticed you yet. I'm gonna have everybody roll for initiative.
Oh baby.
Ooh.
Oh baby.
It's been so long. It's been so long.
I feel like I get a thing for initiative. Maybe not.
18 for Caleb here.
7 for Valinith.
18. Oh, you already said that for Kyrian, yeah.
Kyrian's 18?
Yeah.
Nice. So you're gonna be ahead of Caliph because Caliph is also an 18. roll for this troll.
Oh, so epic.
Okay.
Gotta find some battle music.
Kyrian,
Yeah.
you are first.
Oh baby. You said it's still kind of like half awake.
Yeah, so it basically is awake and it'll be moving this turn, but you and Caliphere will get your opportunity to be able to move it in whatever direction you want at the beginning here. Or you can get another shot on it and move as well. So it's completely up to you how you want to deal with this.
Great. I will shoot at it again. And I will. Well, I guess I'll roll the hit. I'm assuming this one's just normal.
Yes.
Another unnatural 20.
That'll hit.
And that will be 8 points of piercing damage. And I will try to throw my voice down the hallway as best as I can.
All right.
And I will kind of, before it like super notices me, I will try to kind of sneak out the door and get over toward Kyrian. I don't really know exactly what the upper area looks like.
Yeah, basically it's like 5, 10, you're able to get out the door, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you're not able to climb down the ladder, but you can see right now down into the main field of you at this point.
Okay.
As you do so, you hear as it begins to stumble and attempt to stand up. The second shot that you take is much closer to the neck. It's around the collarbone, so it has like in its chest and then in the collarbone. And you hear her call, "Who awakens rhyme? Devourer of men, killer of dwarves." As the call begins to echo outside of the...
That's right.
So Valinith's in the clear, is what I'm hearing.
Balance and clear as far as what you're hearing. And now it is Caliphere. And Caliphere, he is going to basically take his shield and begin slamming. Boom, boom, boom. Out here, you big, thick one. Boom, boom, boom. Come face a man of Gondor, as he just is banging his shield. And while he's doing that, he is going
So pompous.
to he is going to use his, so he can't see rhyme, so he's not going to use his challenge of the Silver Swan yet. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and use his Bright Blade ability. So as a bonus action, you can imbue your melee weapon that you are holding with Bravery. For 1 minute, you add your Charisma modifier to attack rolls made with that weapon. So I get a +3 to hit.
Heck yeah.
On top of your already attack, right?
Yeah, on top of my attack already, so an additional +3. And then for the duration, when you hit a creature, the next attack roll, the target made by an attack, the next attack roll against the target made by an attacker other than you has advantage if the attack is made before the start of your next turn. So basically,
Ballista advantage.
Does it have to
Our
be
ballista
melee though?
advantage.
it doesn't have to be melee. Nope, just an attack.
Sick.
So if the
That's
attack
freaking sick.
is made before the start of my next turn, then it gets advantage. If you are no longer holding or carrying this weapon, or if you fall unconscious, the effect ends.
All right.
So my Bright
I like
Blade. It is now the troll's turn. So the troll's going to make a Wisdom save. So it gets a 3, meaning it's stirred into a rage. And so it's going to
Nice.
go boom, boom, boom in the direction. And just enough movement to go right into the open. It sees Kyrian, and she says, "There you are.
Kyrian or Caleb?
Get in my belly."
I want my baby back.
as she
This
sees
fat
this hideous
bastard.
face.
Oh
You
my
see-
gosh.
You see Valinith, this hand clutch the wall, and this stone troll head peers out as it looks squinting down at Caliphyr, who has his shield ready and his sword out. He is ready to charge during the next turn. Meaning,
And Valinith's
is
gonna take a
Valinith's turn.
shot.
Yep.
He's gonna take a shot at that big old beady-eyed head. He's like, ooh, how foul! And he's gonna shoot.
So just
it's a dexterity.
Yep, dexterity
four.
plus 4.
Okay. Let me get to that.
Guys, should we be shooting it just yet? I don't know if we have the angle to push it into the
You have
sun yet.
advantage too. You have advantage, remember? 'Cause
Ah,
you're right, right.
thank God, thank God. I lived to see this day because I was a nat 1. All right, we're good. That's way better. That's an 18 plus 4, 22 to hit.
22 will hit.
And what is it? 4d8 plus 0.
4d8.
So I'll just roll. the
And as it
4d8 just
reaches
right
its
in the
head
dude's head.
out, it thrusts its body into the open air, and you could just smell the stink coming off of it as just its eyes completely focused on Caliphyr. The captain of Gondor, captor of Dol Amroth, ready to charge. But immediately, both triggers are pulled, and an arrow is loose. And without any
Ooh,
sound at all,
right.
it silently pounds
Roll and
itself
roll slow.
right into the stomach, right inside.
It was
the stomach
really
of this
good.
creature.
17
And
points
with
of piercing damage.
Crap.
17 points of damage. This giant ballista just blows right through the back of it. I guess it would be like the side. And just like literally like dissects its stomach open, and so there's this big gaping wound in its stomach. You see what looks to be a hand fall out onto the ground from its stomach.
Is it a bonus action to try to reload, or is
No,
it?
it's a full action to reload it.
Okay.
It
that's fine.
just basically costs 1 action from whoever's loading it. So if
Okay.
Caliphyr came or Kyrian came down, it would be like one of the actions to reload, and then the next action would be the loosing of it. So you said
Okay.
17.
17.
My goodness.
As
If
she
I did-
screams,
I have a
she
0
She
to
grabs her stomach. She's
strength.
"Ah!" She looks up to She looks up and says, "You're gonna pay for that. You're gonna pay for that." She begins. You could tell her attentions are now focused on you, Valinith.
It's okay.
Next turn, she's
I
going
believe
to go.
in Caliphyr.
But it brings us to the top of the turn with Kyrian.
Sick. Oh gosh. Elf boy. I come down the stairs, I don't know. I'm sure I have enough movement to get here, right?
Yeah, it's 10 feet of movement.
Okay, great. I do the cool like slide down the ladder thing.
I like it.
And yeah, Link
Oh,
style.
Kyrian, I could use some help with this. Strength
Of
isn't
course.
my strong suit.
I got you, brother. And
All right, we
I
load it.
use my action.
Yeah, as an
to
action,
load.
both of you are able to pull it back, and it is set, and it is ready to go.
And
With that,
I don't
yes.
think
I would move too. He is up the stairs.
Yeah, I guess I will use 10 more feet to get back up where I was.
Okay.
And
Caliphyr calls
Yeah, I'll
out.
stay
Caliphyr calls out to the two of you and says, "Do not worry, my companions. I will keep it at bay for as long as I can." And he rushes in straight forward. So if it gets hit from the side, because basically the way that this is going to work is when it gets to half remaining hit points, it's able to be moved by the ballista essentially.
By the arbalist.
So it'll basically make a dexterity saving throw to see if it moves 5 feet in the direction. But Caliphyr, he runs out, and he actually doesn't go directly engaging it. He basically goes within 5 feet or 10 feet outside, and he begins to call a challenge out to it. He's going to use his Challenge of the Silver Swan. So if a creature is within 10 feet, so as a bonus action, you gain advantage on melee attack rolls against the creature for 1 minute or until it drops to 0 hit points or falls unconscious. In addition, the creature must make a Wisdom insight check with a DC of 8 plus your proficiency plus your charisma, which means that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it has to make a 13 insight check. On a fail check, the creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than you for the duration. And for the first turn of combat, it must attack you. So that's cool.
Freaking
so
Caleb
insight check.
here.
That's gonna be a 7. So it fails, and she's gonna be like, fine, if you want to be food so much, get in my gaping belly. As she runs out, it is now her turn. She is going to engage Calafir in combat. And so she has 2 attacks that she is going to make.
Do a barrel roll.
1 second. 2 attacks that she is going to make. So the first attack is her. Well, I guess they're both troll clubs. She's carrying a club. So first attack is going to be an 18, which does hit. Which is rough. I did not expect that. So that's going to be a 14 points of bludgeoning damage. As she just boom. Calafir is able to put his shield up just in time to be able to take the blow as he moves back, but it does crush him pretty good with that freaking troll attacks, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Don't miss, Valineth.
I get advantage though again because he's got the bright blade going, but
True.
That brings him down to 18 remaining hit points. She is going to make her second attack.
Wow.
And that is going to be a 14, which does not hit. He's able to sidestep the second attack. It is now Valineth's turn.
Valineth was like, "Your sacrifice won't be for naught. Have at ye!" and looses another arrow, and that's going to be. That's going to be a lot. That's going to be a lot to hit.
23?
This is 20. Wait, 20. Yeah, 23.
23 hits.
Okay, here we go.
Let's go.
Okay.
48.
Gotta roll it. I gotta roll them on the computer version, which is real slow. Come on. Big damage. Big damage here. That's what I like to say. No, that's fine. It evened out. 2 big numbers, 2 low numbers. 16 points of piercing damage.
All right.
Move that, mother yucca.
And as it shoots, it hits it in the shoulder, and at this point, you can tell it hits bone. And so it sticks outside of the shoulder. It is not quite down to half HP yet, but it does hit, and it sticks, and it just... She goes, you filthy man arrows! And she rips it out and chucks it. You can tell that the tip of it is embedded into her arm as she rips it at the shaft and she puts it down. And she says, you're all gonna pay for this! As she attempts to reach down as if to grab Kyrian, or Calafir. But it is the top bag. It is the top of the turn, meaning it is now Kyrian's turn.
Oh,
How about the brother?
I will reload this ballista.
Kyrian! Oh, thank God. This is thrilling, exhilarating. In fact, as we load the third one.
In fact, what?
In fact, let's bring it down.
Yeah.
Maybe you should go and help.
Yeah, this is
Stay
the last
here.
arrow. Yeah, this is the last arrow.
Yeah. So maybe make your way down into the courtyard potentially, or on the roof. The roof might be nice.
Yes. Can I move through this space?
Yeah, you can move through your ally spaces.
So I can probably make it to there.
All right. Bow at the ready.
That's what I got.
With that, Caliphyr is going to go ahead and make his attack. So I need to drop him 6 more hit points to get him at half HP.
Come on, baby.
He's going to go with his longsword, so he gets a +3 to this roll, whatever this is.
Go buff.
14, 15, 16, 17. It's enough. And he takes his sword and he begins to hew at it. He is wielding this one-handed, and he gets an additional +3 to the damage of this roll.
Go for this, please.
He gets 12 points of damage as he slashes up at it. And I'm going to have, actually, Valinith and Kyrian, I'm going to have the two of you make perception checks for me.
Okay.
Good at those.
I'm good at those too.
Unless I roll poorly,
Very perceptive.
like just now. Wait, what?
That definitely looks like a 19, but it says it's a 1. 8.
It's okay. 19.
19. Valinith, you see something small fall from its neck, and it catches a bit of, not sun, but you see it glint a little bit as it falls down to the ground.
That's right.
I take note.
As he says it, he's like, I don't know how much longer I can hold it back, as he just like shoves his shield into it, knocks it a little bit off balance as she leans back, and she does her troll roar as she is ready to make another charge. Hopefully for good for her at this time. Valinith. Oh no, it is her turn. So
It's her turn.
Yep, she's gonna make 2 attacks. One, she is going to attempt to grapple, meaning Caliphyr is going to make a
Caliphyr, do a barrel roll.
dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Is he dexterous? I don't know if he's
So that's a
dexterous.
16
that's decent.
to her.
It's a decent roll.
30.
22.
Ah!
She grabs him and she like holds
gets
him up and just like,
Bagged.
you smell foul. How do you taste? As she goes in for a bite attack against him.
Oh. Good thing
He
he's
is
wearing
grappled,
armor.
so this is gonna be at
Caliphyr!
It's gonna be a nat 19, which will hit
Oh.
as she chomps.
Mhm.
Oh.
It's less damage. It's less damage than the club attack, which is good. I guess,
Okay.
but it still is not fun to get chomped.
He's wearing armor.
Yeah.
He'll survive.
6
Poor
points of
Okay. Yeah, you're-
piercing damage as she chomps down. He's able to get his shield up close enough to where it takes the majority of the brunt, but her bottom teeth like bend in the back of his armor to where it's very uncomfortable. He goes ah as she just like attempts to like bite him like a corn on the cob.
That's nice. That's nice.
How much was that? 6 points of damage, Jason?
6. Yeah.
He's got 12 left.
He goes,
You got
"Ah!"
this.
He just gets chomped. Shoot her! Shoot her! Shoot her! As he
Yeah.
just-
Valinith is going right for the belly, and he's screaming his manly scream that he said. Oh!
All right.
Wow.
If it
Elves
hits,
have
if
such
it hits, he's
beautiful
gonna
vo-
have to make a dexterity saving throw. Or
He will?
the troll.
Okay, I was gonna be like, okay, here we go. Come on. Plus, so that's the first one's a 15, but it's an advantage. 15 to hit.
Oh, balls.
Go ahead and roll for.
Oh, it
damage.
hits. Oh!
It's just enough. The exact number you needed.
Oh, man.
Okay, first dexterity saving throw. That's gonna be a 10.
Yeah. Suck it.
That's a good roll, too. It's a really good roll.
Okay.
20 points of piercing damage.
Boom! This bolt
Nice.
right into her belly. She turns around as she screams, as she like holds up Caliphyr as if for going in for another bite, as she's looking directly at you as if for a challenge, and this last bolt goes flying into her stomach. Ugh! As she gets knocked back, she falls releasing Caliphyr. He's going to have to make a dexterity save
It's
as
okay.
he falls onto the ground. Oh, it was hovering on a nat 1. He gets an 18. He's able to fall prone on the ground, but he doesn't take any damage as he's splayed out. She falls backward, and the sun immediately begins to her upper half of her body. You can see her legs kicking and squealing as like the rest of the body from the top begins to solidify in stone. She is no longer capable of doing anything, and all of the filth has dried up to stone dust as she lays there, a troll in her prime, cut down early.
Valinith, tend to Caliphyr, and I will jump down as well.
Califyr's on the ground.
Oh,
and
yes, of course.
He's just like wincing, just like,
I will jump
Oh.
down, and I will.
Don't move
come
too
to
much.
my
Don't
brother.
move too much.
By
By the way, there was something that dropped off its neck. Look around for it. It was shiny. It seems to be.
I will take a quick look-see over to see if I see anything shiny.
You do. You don't have to make a check or anything. It looks to be a key ring. So multiple keys are in this ring. There's two of them. There is one of them. They both look to be brass. One's a little larger than the other.
All right. I have a feeling I might know what these go to, and I'll put it on my belt.
Valinith-
But
Make a
Valinith.
medicine check for
Valinith
me,
is-
Valinith. First of all, make a
tend
medicine
to our
check for me.
Skills. I'm good at medicine. That's like
Can
one
I
of the things I'm
assist?
good at. Hold up.
This is happening like
you-
this is like his initial like
That's a nat 20 for a 27.
You look at him, and fortunately, as you take his breastplate off, and you see his breastplate is like dented in on the back a little bit. His shield has held up perfectly well, but you look and you see this deep bruise beginning to form. You begin to touch it, and as you examine it, fortunately, he has not broken a rib. Just simply the wind has been taken out of him. The breath has been taken out of him, and one more bite, he would have broken probably multiple ribs. At this point,
Okay.
but he is stable enough to not have any permanent damage.
Yeah, so so I'm going to let's see. I'm going to so if I take time to prepare the medicine,
Which is 10 minutes in order to do so.
which is 10 minutes to prepare it, then I get the full effect of the healing, right? At max.
I
That's
think
how
so.
it is.
I think that's how it
Staunching
works.
song. The wound tune can once you learn this song, it may perform a number of companions.
No. It wouldn't be in
Oh,
the
that's different,
staunching
that's
song.
different.
That's a different thing.
Yeah,
It would
yeah,
just
yeah.
be your hands of a healer ability.
Yeah. Third level. Whenever you use.
I know there's a 10-minute thing. I don't remember the exact.
Yeah. Well, go over that. I'll heal. Go to Kyrian, and I'll tell you the results of that.
All right,
stuff,
Kyrian.
so.
So you find this key ring on the ground, and you pick it up, and it looks relatively in good condition. But this key ring has been definitely near and dear to this troll for it to be keeping it around her neck.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I assume one of the keys opens this door, so I'm gonna go try both on that door.
The bigger key does, and you find a little bit of resistance as you begin to click it, but it eventually does click, and the door swings open. As it does so, you hear a
Mhm.
the door swings open, and you see what looks
I
to
take
be
out my dagger, not necessarily partly defense, but partly to help cut free
your
whoever.
dagger is not glowing, by the way.
Great.
So no orcs or anything like that. As the door swings open, you push it, you hear this. Your eyes have already adjusted to the dark as you've made your way into this dank place, and you can see chained to the wall, an elf woman.
What?
And that is where we're going to end our session for today.
Oh, it's so good. Oh my gosh.
All right,
See
quickly.
you guys in 2 months.
How much healing? Yeah, no. Hopefully.
I'm
freaking
trying to
not.
look. So it keeps saying that I thought it was if I healed using an herb, I don't have to use a charge. for that?
No. So if you heal with like an herb, Athelis is its own like thing. So it
Okay,
should
so it's
say
not Hands of the Healer. Okay.
no. Hands
Yeah.
of
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, Hands of the Healer should.
How
there's
much
like
is these? He's down pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
I'm
at
gonna use the Hands
12
of the Healer.
12
Okay,
of
so
32.
it's 2d8 plus my wisdom modifier.
But there,
which is
I know there's a 10-minute thing. There should be.
Yeah,
like a
that's
subtext.
this. That's this. So I can
But what's the additional effect? 'Cause it gives an additional effect.
Yeah, so if instead you tend a creature for the last 10 minutes, binding their wounds, treating them with herbs and poultices, and offering soothing words, then you multiply the 2d8 by your proficiency modifier, which is 2. So I double it.
Yeah,
double
just
the healing.
double the result.
Then add my wisdom after that. So 2d or 4
Happy kitty, sleepy kitty.
Okay,
Caleb
so
Pierce just like, that's such a beautiful voice. Does anyone told you,
Okay.
Valineth, that your words are so soothing?
Wow, that was a really bad heal. So that would be 8 plus my wisdom. 8 plus 3, so
The nice thing is you
11.
don't have to worry about the healing. So 8 plus what? 3?
8, yeah, so 11 points.
So he's back up to
So I used
23.
one
He
hand
has
of
hit
healing.
dice to use, so he's got 4 hit dice to use during healing. It's enough to be able to patch him up and get him back on his feet. But while this is happening, we're going to go ahead and finish our session for today. Quick thoughts on tonight. That was cool. Some sneaking, some troll killing, some all the fun things
That's a
that you
fun
want
session.
from a
Yeah.
D&D session.
Oh, yeah.
Dane, your thoughts?
It was really good. I mean, I think we got the normal hijinks that I've missed from Valineth of, being really good at what he's good at and being not great at what he's not good at, such as athletics checks and getting flung up onto the wall. One thing I really appreciate about this party, and I always say it, is everything is really thought through, which is nice. And so there's not like a lot of just like going by the string of your bootstraps and just rushing into the heat of battle. Like there's a lot of thought that goes into everything that's done in this specific battle.
It might
or
be a
in this
little
specific
annoying, but you'll
campaign.
realize that Caliphyr, that's his strong suit. He's like, we're not going in unprepared.
No, it's good. It's because I didn't even think about it, but it was probably good that we had, because Kieran and I didn't get touched at all, and so
Yeah.
I like seeing how everyone works in battle. I guess technically this is the first real battle that we've all worked cohesively as a team together. So it's cool to see all of our strengths at their strengths, and it's cool to see like Caliphy's skills. It's cool to see like how freaking awesome Kirian is at just like sneaking places without being like a rogue type character, and just really just discovering everything, which is awesome. And I'm very curious about who this elven lady is. Curious. Those are my thoughts.
Kirian, Cole, your thoughts?
I am also curious who this elven lady is. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a lot of fun. It was fun to do kind of a stealth reconnaissance thing. It was one of those situations where it's like, there's got to be something in here. You have a map, there's never nothing, if there's a map involved.
That's
Even
true.
if it's just like,
a waste of a session. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was a fun kind of siege and reconnaissance thing. I like Dane said, I think it was really fun getting to kind of use what we were best at. It was really fun to see Kirian be really good at stealth. Oh, Dane disappeared.
Oh no, he's still here for me.
Oh,
I
maybe
lost
it's just
him.
me then.
You lost Cole too, Dane?
Yeah, he's frozen.
Oh.
Let it go. Let it go.
Cole's frozen for me too.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Maybe he needs to reload. While he's doing that, I can give you my thoughts from the perspective of Caliphyr. Man, it's fun to kind of have a player character to do player character things. One of the things about that's really interesting as a DM is making Caliphyr, because obviously I have like the preconceived knowledge of everything that is going on here, but like it really makes me have to rely on like the rolls and stuff that Caliphyr does in order to reveal like information and stuff that maybe he would perceive and certain things. But the thing about Caliphyr, like, I did not freaking expect to be chomped like that, first of all. Secondly, and freaking clubbed. I've realized, and this is something that maybe if like you're fighting trolls in the future, they freaking have huge hit modifiers. So for the club, for this specifically, this is a greater stone troll. The club has a +8 to hit, and so the chances of getting hit, even though Caliphyr has a solid 18 to his AC.
Just have to roll a 10 or higher.
And the thing is, like, both of the turns that like he had combat, he used his bonus action to do like the challenge of the Silver Swan, and he also has an ability where he can use his reaction
Have damage
to like shield, and essentially what that does is it increases his AC by 2. And so there were on the second hit, I think it would have blocked, so it would have been, he would have had 20. Actually, maybe not. I think maybe the troll would have hit both times, but still, it freaking hit him so hard, like a freaking truck, which is rough. Yeah, dude, it was fun to be able to like actually use a character in combat. One of the things, for those who don't know, so I've been, again, rereading The Lord of the Rings, and I just finished The Return of the King, and man, dude, the Knights of Dol Amroth are so freaking sweet. I'm so sad that they didn't add, like, Prince Imrahil and stuff to, like, the movie, but, like, they're like, friggin' sweet when it comes to their, like, battlefield tactics and whatnot. Like, and it's weird, because they're kind of, like, seafaring people and whatnot, but... yeah, Caliphyr is a fun character to play, but it was really neat to be able to see, like, from the DM perspective, you guys work cohesively as a team, figure things out, and, like, every single damage that you guys did made the difference. I think you probably could have flash killed it with just normal attacks, but you got it down to half HP, and then you stumbled it and turned it to stone. Like, that saved a lot of strife and extra conflict that needed to happen from this troll. And so, oh, I also lost Dane, too. I lost Valinith. It might be from my end. Who knows? But with that being the case, I guess I can go ahead and end the stream since both of our players are unable to talk. But just a quick couple of things before we do end. We have more streams. I have a stream coming later this evening. We're playing some... Final Fantasy 16, so we're going to be continuing with that gameplay. Also, for the rest of the week, Cole will be continuing his playthrough of Fire Emblem Three Houses. Dane will be continuing I'm not sure if he finished. Maybe he finished. I don't think he did, but the DLC of Elden Ring. And then no Everlast this weekend. Dane will just have his normal stream this weekend as well. But we'll be continuing everything as it were on Monday. But this has been a really fun session. I'm glad to be back with this group. If you want to support us in the creation of further videos to help Fantasy Forge improve its content, but also to have the time and the finances to be able to keep doing what we're doing, there's a couple ways you can support us. Oh, man. Maybe it's my side. That's okay. Oh, snap. It's rough. But we have a couple of ways that you can support us, one of which being Coffee of the Realms. So Coffee of the Realms is a Everlast-based coffee, which has a number of different coffee blends, from a dark roast to light roast to medium roasts, and in the bean and ground variety. It has everything is based off of each of the flavors are based off of a specific location in what is it called? In Everlast, to the tabletop RPG we are creating here. And also we have similar thing with Candles of the Realm. So if you want to purchase candles in a good sense for your tabletop RPG experience ambiance, that's a great way to be able to support us there. We have tin candles all the way to glass candles as well. They come in various sizes from 4 ounces all the way to 9 ounces, and so you can go and purchase those there. Yeah, definitely. It was on my side, I think, for sure. On this crash for some reason. It's weird. My stream's still going, so that's a party. But if Dane, if you still want to do a raid after this, that would be awesome. But the last way is Dai Snacky. They're a Japanese sweets and luxury treats company. They have a number of Japanese snacks, from their popular Japanese snacks in their Mokusei box to more traditional Japanese snacks in their Mokusei Lux box. If you do order from them, say that Fantasy Forge had sent you at checkout. That's how we make our way towards our free giveaway. And if you put also your Twitch name, you will get in your order, you will get raffle tickets towards that. So your chances of winning that free Mokusei box when we give that away will be much higher. But thank you all. May the road go ever onward and onward. I will see you guys later. God bless you all. I will see you all so soon. Bye guys. See you tonight.